The following is a presentation of TBS Sports.
Last night, Mark Martin did it again. Actually, the last 7 times Mark Martin climbed into a NASCAR race car, he's won. Tonight, here in Richmond, Virginia, he goes for the glory of number 8 and a modern-day record of 5 consecutive Winston Cup wins. At Richmond International Raceway on a perfect night, it's the 36th annual Miller 400. 71,000 fans bought every seat last April, waiting for this hour. And the man of the hour, Mark Martin, standing by with Dick Berggren.
Mark Martin, 4 in a row. Can you make it 5?
Well, we really feel good about our car tonight. You know, the way things are going, we couldn't be happier. We're sure looking forward to going racing tonight.
But you're starting in 10th spot, a bunch of cars to pass. How are you going to do it? Be cautious?
It's not where you start that counts, it's where you finish.
Mark Martin looking for number 5.
You are looking live at beautiful Richmond International Raceway, a perfect night for Winston Cup racing. Great to have you with us this evening on TBS. 36 cars set to go 400 laps, 300 miles tonight under the lights here at Richmond. Hi, everybody. I'm Rick Benjamin in the STP Pit Communication Center. Great to have you with us tonight. We'll be describing all the stories throughout this evening of racing here at Richmond International Raceway. Let's take a look at our Chevrolet course description, give it a little closer picture of what the track here at Richmond is all about. It is 3/4 of a mile. It is D-shaped since the track was rebuilt several seasons ago. On the backstretch, 2 degrees of banking to give the cars a little help going into turn 3. The front stretch, actually the curved front stretch, banked 8 full degrees. The corners, of course, more steeply banked, 14 degrees of banking in both the first and third corners here. Beautiful night for racing, as we mentioned. 74 degrees as we get ready to put this one under green tonight. Only 29% humidity, barely a wind north out of 5 miles an hour, and the skies are perfectly clear tonight. Temperature may be a factor a little later because it could cool off into the 50s, and that might provide these teams with a little different situation. The first real race of the fall season when the temperatures will be quite a bit cooler. To describe all the action, Mark Martin's bid for 5 in a row. Let's send it back upstairs to Ken Squire and Neil Bonham.
Neil, so many stories developing, unfolding as the field is rolling out right now, 36 strong. Up in front, Bobby Labonte, the first rookie on the pole since Davey Allison several years back. And you've got Ernie Irvin alongside.
You mentioned Davey Allison, the car that won the race. Irvin is in that car. After the driver change there, he's in the 28 car. Car won the last race here. Good shot to win again tonight.
And, of course, the Ernie Irvin story. He is going to be really hard to stay with. He loves this racetrack and runs it very, very well. And Bobby Labonte, he is definitely looking for a win out here tonight. Let's go down to the Martin pits right now with Dick Berggren.
Well, Jack Roush ought to have some good ideas as to what the odds are of this thing winning. You own the car, you built the motor. How about it? What are your chances?
Oh, I think we're about 1 in 3 tonight. That's not really different than what it would have been for any one of the previous 4 races that we've won. Rusty will be really good. It's a matter of determining here after a couple of laps, are the 3 cars running enough gear to really be a factor. You know, they've been maybe holding back some.
Okay, to Randy Pemberton. Randy?
Well, I'm standing here with Richard Childress, car owner for Dale Earnhardt. Richard, I understand a slight problem in the last practice session. Did you cure it, and what was it?
Well, we were getting ready to go to the gas pumps to put the car on the line, and Andy heard the clutch squealing, and and come to find out the clutch was going out of it. So we dodged a bullet there, and we changed it and had about 10-15 minutes left. So maybe that'll be a good sign for the night.
Starting lineup has Bobby Labonte and Ernie Irvin running in row 1 for tonight's race. As we look at the Haviland starting lineup, going to row 2, it's Rusty Wallace and Darrell Waltrip. Row 3 is Harry Gant and Rick Mast. Row 4 tonight, Jeff Bodine and Dale Earnhardt. In row 5, it's Dick Trickle and Mark Martin. For row 6, Kyle Petty and Ken Schrader. Row 7, Dale Jarrett and Derek Cope. Row 8 is Michael Waltrip and Brett Bodine. Row 9 is Ricky Rudd and Jeff Purvis. In row 10, Jimmy Hensley and Rick Wilson. Row 11, Jimmy Spencer and Jeff Gordon. Row 12, Terry Labonte and Sterling Marlin. Row 13, Hutch Strickland and Bill Elliott making his 400th start. In row 14, Phil Parsons and Kenny Wallace. Row 15, Morgan Shepherd and Wally Dallenbach. In the 16th row, Jimmy Means and Todd Bodine. 17th row, Dave Marcus and Bobby Hillen. Outback provisional, Ted Musgrave and Greg Sachs. Stand by. We're ready to get it on here tonight. as the field is coming down. They're going to take one before they turn them loose. Here's Johnny Hayes.
I think Rusty Wallace is the man to beat. Great pit crew, great pit stop, practicing well. His record here is unbelievable. Rusty's the guy to beat tonight.
And he's the guy that won this race just a year ago. Crowd settles in. On board Mark Martin's car, we have 4 onboard cameras for you tonight. Derek Cope's car a little further back in the field, 18 cameras giving you the pictures. Bobby Hill will give us some pictures further back. Heilig Meyer's car. Field settling down. Light is off of the pace car. They wanted to get this race cranking it close to 7:30 as possible tonight. That's just what they're doing. T.W. Taylor, Jimmy Horton, Rich Bickle, and Richie Petty failed to qualify. Richie tore his car up pretty hard this afternoon when he bounced off the second turn wall. Down they come, ready to take green. Shots from Jimmy Hensley's car as Bobby Labonte brings them across the stripe. We're going to go racing with Bobby Labonte on the pole. First pole for a rookie since Davey did it back in '87. And on the break, everybody away clean.
Boy, Ken, as I got the first turn, Ken Schrader got shoved way outside against the wall, but he got it back down without any problem.
Coming around to the outside. Hard to say this name in car number 28, isn't it? But there's Ernie Irvin up in front.
Again, he made a strong move on the outside. That's something you're going to see at this racetrack. A lot of tracks we go to, it's single file, not Richmond. We've seen a lot of side-by-side racing. There Irvin takes the lead from the outside.
Second time out in those famous black, gold, red colors. Back down to the line. It's Ernie Irvin for lap 2. Rusty Wallace is deployed third, as you see there. Waltrip is back and forth. 3/4 mile track. Fast down into that number 1 corner. Hard out on number 2, almost a single lane. Hard braking into turn number 3. Sweeping around turn number 4. Big change there. They changed that wall dramatically. The Sawyers have cut 75 feet off the wall and turned it in. So it's not nearly the danger point that it has been in the past. They've done a good job with that wall. There you see the battle up in front. And look at Earnhardt trying to get underneath Darrell Waltrip as they skirmish for 4th.
They said they dodged a bullet. They had a clutch problem as they got ready to put it on the line, and they were the last car out just a few minutes before the race started, so they dodged a big bullet, as Childress said. Waltrip, when he qualifies this good, you can bet he's going to be a factor in the race. Right up front when this one started.
Take a look at Ernie Irvin. And right here comes Dale Earnhardt back with those leaders another time. Bobby Labonte having an excellent run in car number 22. Great qualifying effort. Take a look at Ken Schrader having his hands full out there. Gant on the outside. Kyle Petty right there with him. He scooped down the back straightaway. Looking back at the 9th position battle.
Here's Kyle Petty taking that inside line away from Gant. But we've seen people be able to run off that. So I see Gant pull him off there wearing Cope's car. And you see Gant just squirt away from Kyle up off that corner.
Top Arctic camera giving you these shots in the Bojangles car. Dale Yarborough's team staying right there as they follow the Kyle Petty machine. Down off that corner. Kyle's in 11th. We're in the 12th place car. Let's get back up there again with Dale Earnhardt working on Waltrip. 7 laps complete. Back up to the lead. There goes Bobby Labonte on the outside trying to make his move.
Ken, from the time this thing started, Labonte's moved up. We were talking about this thing, 2 lanes to work with. Pretty gutsy move, the outside this early. See him get the car out there. Now you got to worry about coming off. It's not so bad on this straightaway, but if you're outside off 2, you run out of racing room. We'll have to see if they can make it.
Last week, he got himself a 14th at Darlington. He was 15th at Bristol. Here he comes on the outside. Pitches it right out there. Out of that very dangerous second turn. What a race for the lead.
A treacherous place off turn 2. He did not hesitate. He just stuck it out there, stood in the throttle. Looked like he's going to make it work.
For the lead. Johnny Hayes said, watch Wallace. Watch him indeed. As he stuck the nose of car number 2 of the Penske Pontiac right in the midst of things.
You know, if Johnny Hayes is right, we'll never hear the end of it. Boy, I tell you, look at the 22 car. They've been coming along week after week. Labonte's doing a great job of it.
And it's the first time that Bobby Labonte, has led since Pocono back in July on that great 2.5-mile track. Here comes Rusty Wallace trying to take it away from him. Defending champion here in this 400-lap race. Meanwhile, take a look a little further back. This is for fifth spot. Mark Martin on the inside of Earnhardt. Got it.
Here they're going down. You got a big sweeping turn down in turn 1. You can run side by side. They're coming off this corner. As they make this exit the corner, it really gets tight.
On board with Mark Martin. The Pyro car, Pyro camera, swings back down on the inside. Here he comes, looking for Waltrip.
We'll see ahead there that Rusty Wallace took the lead. He did make that pass on the outside. There's Labonte in third, dropping to fourth right there in front of Mark Martin.
And Mark Martin draws him down again. The 22 cars fading back a bit here.
And the 6 cars doing what it's been doing, fading to the front in a hurry.
From 10th into 4th in 13 laps. Mark Martin, car 6. And to the inside on Waltrip. Let's go back to the leaders another time. Take a look at this. Wallace. Rusty Wallace now has the advantage. Ernie Irvan is in second. Waltrip is in third. Martin for fourth. Bobby Labonte in fifth. Earnhardt is sixth. And then it's Bodine in seventh. A little further back in eighth, it's Schrader. Ninth is Kyle Petty. 10th is Rick Maz. And 11th is Harry Gant. More from Richmond in a moment.
The Miller Genuine Draft 400 is brought to you by Haviland Formula 3 Motor Oil. Add more life to your car. By Western Auto, the official auto parts and service store of NASCAR. By Goodyear, #1 in tires. And by Budweiser, fresh, pure, natural, proud to be your Bud.
An incredible sunset scene from Airship Shamu tonight, provided by SeaWorld here at Richmond, Virginia. Welcome back to live coverage of the Miller Genuine Draft 400 on TBS. Great to have you with us here tonight as we watch quite a battle behind leader Rusty Wallace. The race for second, Darrell Waltrip on the outside of Ernie Irvan there. Waltrip up high coming out of turn 2. It looks as though he will indeed grab second spot in this early stage of the race. We're just moving past the 20-lap mark tonight at Richmond. One of the stories we're going to follow for you, the True Value Hard Charger Award tonight. Every race, True Value posts $5,000 for the top 5 finishers in the True Value point standings. There's a $50,000 end of the season payoff. Dale Earnhardt is the end of the season leader right now by a good margin over Mark Martin and Rusty Wallace. We'll keep track of that battle for you tonight. There'll be $5,000 on the line for the top 5 finishers here at Richmond.
Coming around a complete 24 laps as you look at this battle for second place. A 4-time winner of this event here at Richmond, Darrell Waltrip stays right in front of Ernie Irvan in the number 28. Here's Irvan trying to take it back as he ducks low in turn number 1. You're watching it live on TBS from Richmond International Raceway, the Miller 400.
Again, a lot of racetracks, we talked about that inside line. On a shorter track like this, that inside is preferred line, but we're seeing guys pass on that outside. We see Mark Martin up behind, wearing his car with him behind the 28. He might look at that outside lane. That's the way most of the passing's been done.
Here he comes, scooting down into turn number 1, critical part of the track. Irvan takes it low at Ford, stays down, as does Mark Martin. Here he comes, kicking it back again in the back straightaway, up to about 165 miles an hour, eases it down into turn 3, averaging about 120 miles per hour per lap. He follows the start. Waltrip in second, Irvan third, Martin in fourth. Meanwhile, up in front, Rusty Wallace, who won this race by about 3 seconds a year ago, is building up a pretty heady lead at the present time. First to second, he's already got himself more than a second on that 3-way battle that's just behind.
Again, this has always been a good racetrack for Rusty Wallace, and as Johnny Hayes said, he put up a lot of good numbers in practice, worked consistently with the fastest cars.
One here in '89, won it last year. Rusty Wallace won 4 races out of 8 at the beginning of this season. And of course, he had some things go really bad for him, but he still stays very much in the point hunt. We'll tell you more about that as the night progresses. Look at this slugfest a little further back. This is a fight for 6th position. There you see Bodine in the 15, right down there in the Bud Moore car. And right beside him comes Earnhardt. Bud Moore, the owner of that car 15, made an interesting statement. He said there are three kinds of drivers out here right now in Winston Cup racing. Bud Moore said there's Dale Earnhardt, then there's 2 or 3 that can stay with him, and then there's the rest of them.
Yeah, they put a lot of confidence. Earnhardt drove for Bud Moore years ago. Really appreciates the type of driver Earnhardt is, and he gets the job done. He's got to get it done. He's got some guys in front of him there. He's going to get busy.
And one of them is Kyle Petty. He's cutting his own mark this year, getting very strong in the Felix Savetta's car. Back to the bottom of the speedway, number 42, Kyle Petty, beginning to roll up through. 30 of 400 laps are now complete on this 3/4 mile track.
Guys, Dale Earnhardt has come over the radio and said the car is a little tight in the middle of the corners, and he's spinning the wheels when he's coming off. Now, it's not a major thing. I think as this race goes on, the track will come around to Earnhardt. They'll probably make a few minor adjustments, mostly with air pressure in the tires. They're doing a lot with air pressure these days. No, not a lot of adjustments as far as jacking wedge and stuff. So we'll see a couple of minor adjustments for Dale. It's not a big problem early on, I don't think.
Jeff Bodine staying just in front of Kyle Petty and having a good run. Let's take a look up front. As they come around to complete lap 32, there you see Rusty Wallace. And take a look at this interval. I think it's shortening up here. There you see Wallace out in front. The 89 Winston Cup champion. And we'll get a chance to look a little further back here and see how they're doing in trying to collect him. And indeed, Waltrip is running Wallace down a bit. It's now where it was 1.3, now down to 0.7 of a second.
And look at the line Waltrip's using. He's running a totally different line than the guy in first place and the guy in third. He's a full lane outside higher on the racetrack, and that will help you keep the tires out of the car. The tires should work better longer if he can run that longer line around and not really spin them up off the corner.
And that's so critical on this racetrack. Getting those 2 little black patches hitched up to this asphalt is the trickiest part of a lot of tracks, but it's absolutely critical here at Richmond. And look at Ernie Irvan take a swipe on the inside, run out of room as Waltrip on that high line. Those RPMs peaked right up there.
There we see the 2 car of Rusty Wallace leading the race. He's running the pattern he wants to run, right around the inside, feeding her up off the corner.
Rusty Wallace, Richmond is your track, isn't it?
I've always done good at this track. I won this race last time. A couple wins, a lot of seconds and thirds and stuff like that. And hey, the weather's perfect today too. It's great weather for a race.
Rusty Wallace, who was second here to Davey Allison back in the spring. Leaders averaging 114 miles an hour and getting into the lap traffic. Pulling up on Dave Marcus in the 71 car. Dave won his last race here. Last race of his active career back in 1982 when he won an event back on the old half mile here, the old famed fairgrounds at Richmond. My, how times have changed. Sawyers have spent some $20 million in improvements, up to 71,000 seats, and they say that by the year 1995 they'll seat 100,000. And we noticed tonight, Neil, as we came in, that they're still having this one problem with the arterial system. You're getting cars in and out. You know, they say Virginia's for lovers. It's a little hard on folks trying to get in and out of the racetrack. But one thing the track has done has gone to buses. I have never seen so many buses at a track of this size I don't think any Winston Cup races we've seen here in Richmond tonight.
Ken, we've got great racing facilities, and I think the promoters, just like the Sawyers here, are really catering to these fans, trying to get them in and out. They want to see good racing, but they also want to be able to get in and out good. And talk about some good racing, Waltrip has taken advantage of that outside, and he's really closing in on Rusty right now.
Yeah, he's ready to park right on his rear bumper as we get to lap number 40. Next time by. We'll be back with more in a moment. Back with you with 45 laps complete, and we have a struggle up in front. There you see Rusty Wallace challenged by Darrell Waltrip. Waltrip, a 4-time winner of this event. Wallace won it twice and is defending champion in the Miller 400 at Richmond International Raceway. Meanwhile, 2 laps ago, it was Morgan Shepherd socked the wall in turn number 2. Bent up the front, sparks flew all the way down the back stretch. He cut across the track, got back in. Look at this battle for the lead continue. Here's Waltrip looking as stout and strong as we've seen him this year.
You know, we saw Waltrip running that high line, and the minute Waltrip caught Rusty Wallace, he took that high line to try to take that part of the track away. The question is, can Waltrip use the other section and make the pass? One thing about these radios in these pits, they're calling. I'm sure Rusty's got to say, hey, Waltrip's getting it done in the top. Now Rusty's trying it again.
Around Greg Sachs they go as work continues on car number 21. Down on pit road, the Wood Brothers car being administered to after it socked the wall. Here comes Waltrip back again, watching this action as they come around to complete lap 48.
It seems like Waltrip was a lot quicker when he could stay out there, and Rusty's got up there and kind of taken that section.
Martin stays third, Irvin fourth, Kyle Petty is fifth, Jeff O'Donnell sixth, looking further back to see. Rudd is seventh, and you see Labonte in eighth. Terry, that's Bobby Labonte. Terry Labonte is ninth. Jeff Gordon is in 10th. There you see some of that struggle. There's Terry Labonte in the 14. Boy, you know, coming to North Wilkesboro, it's coming up very soon. Billy Hagan will have 2 cars there. He's going to start John Andretti in that second car. John will take over and drive the contract starting in 94, but they're going to get him out for the remainder of the season. I guess Phoenix is still in question, but you'll see 2 Billy Hagan cars at North Wilkesboro. One still driven by Terry Labonte and the other by John Andretti. And Andretti plans to stick it out and try to make it go in Winston Cup racing. Look at this battle between the 22 fighting his own way and the rookie, leading rookie, Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon on the inside, number 24, picks up a spot. Give him 9th and move Bobby Labonte back to 10th on your score sheet as you've completed 51 laps now are in the book.
Ken, while we're watching this, the 21 had to go behind the wall. It looked like he blew a tire going in turn 1, hit the wall hard, and locked up the right front brake. They've got to take it to the garage and try to correct that problem.
I was surprised NASCAR didn't throw a caution on that because he really bounced off the wall. And you can see I was afraid there might be some parts out there would be tearing up some tires, but that's not the case. Good call by them.
Plenty of sparks. It looked like it could have been something there, but evidently they did not have a problem with it because had a lot of traffic through that area since.
Wallace stays first, Waltrip second. And there you see that battle. Looking further back on the field, there you see the 26 and 25. That's a battle for 12th spot. Brett Bodine in that 26 and Schrader on the outside. Schrader, the man who holds the track record at a little over 123 miles per hour. Set last year, trying to close in on Earnhardt. Earnhardt not having much fun. He's fallen back to 11th. Watch the scramble for 12th. Between Brett Bodine down on the bottom, and he's about to scoot through and try to set Earnhardt down another step. Earnhardt coming into the night's race, leading the point battle by some 304. But as was reported to you at the outset, they had trouble in that last period of practice, the last training period, and they changed the transmission. Always kind of a ticklish situation, making those kind of changes just before you come down for flag.
Yeah, and they had to put a new clutch in it also. I think what might have hurt him more than that, Ken, is that problem prevented the practice in that last session and might have cost him some valuable track time. Those guys got plenty of time during the race to sort it out. They can stay in the lead lap. We see the 25 car and the 18 going at it right behind them.
Dale Jarrett in that 18, the Joe Gibbs car, on the move. He's up into 14th. That battle's about 13 seconds behind the leaders. And here's that battle up in front. Bobby Hillin moving over.
Well, this could
getting some room.
Ken, this could be the chance which way he goes. There's the 17 going to get that inside lane. Could give him the lead right here.
And Mark Martin could come with him. Wide enough down this main straightaway. Nicely banked as they go into number 1. And you're on board with Bobby Hillin in the Heilig Myers car. And we've got trouble down in turn number 1 and 2.
28 blew up.
It looked like Ernie Irvin may have unhinged an engine, and he brings out the first caution of the race at lap 57. The car that started outside of the front row, Ernie Irvin, who was running in 4th position at the time, smolders one, and they're going to roll him onto pit road. 4th place car on that lap, Ernie Irvin going into turn 1. As he stepped off the throttle, the engine went away.
Yeah, he's just going directly to the garage. There's no pits for him. That thing's history.
Yellow is out, and Johnny Hayes will try to get a word with him or get him over to Rick Benjamin. That's the end of the day for that Robert Yates team. Qualified up in front. but they take it right back to the caravan to load it up and take her home. Pit road, leaders coming in. Waltrip, Martin, Wallace, Petty, Jeff Bodine, Ricky Rudd, Terry Labonte, Gordon, Bobby Labonte, Brett, the whole tribe's all on pit road now. That's where the action is.
Everybody but on the lead lap came in. The one lap down stayed out. Here's where Rusty Wallace, not only is his car fast on the racetrack, this is where they've been beating everybody to death in the pits.
And on that jack, some of them got it down to 1 push and it's up, some to 2. Here's Mark Martin coming out. 17.7 on Rusty Wallace. Very good stop on Wallace.
4 tires. Boy, it looked like Walter beat him out.
Yep.
By pitting at the end, he was able just to roll out and beat him across that line.
Track position means so much here at Richmond, Neil.
Yeah, you got to work so hard. We saw Walter run him down. Oh, whoa! Wheel came off. Somebody hit it, knocked it down pit road. Going all the way around the first turn. The question is, did it come off a one, or is it one that's already been changed?
Follow me. Meanwhile, see Bobby Hillin in, Dave Marcus in, those lap cars now getting worked on. And Johnny Hayes is standing by with Ernie Irvin.
Yes, I have Ernie Irvin, Ken. Ernie, what happened, bud? I think something wrong with the motor. You know, I'm not a motor man, but it quit running for sure. And you know, Texaco, Haviland, Ford Thunderbird was running really good and led some laps, and I thought we had a good shot at running good in long runs, and that's the way it felt. But the way it goes.
Well, you ran super, and you'll turn that around.
We will. I want to say hi to Kim. She's at home. Her and Terry's probably watching this race. We'll be ready to go to the lake tomorrow, girls.
Yeah, this is the father of a new baby. Y'all know that. Thanks.
No, we didn't know that, but we sure do now, John. Thanks a lot. Okay, Ron Williams in 93 at Talladega back in May for Ernie, but not tonight. Night racing coming to you live here from Richmond, Virginia, and the Rebestas aerial platform giving us this marvelous view of what Winston Cup racing looks like under the lights. First Grand National now Winston Cup race under the lights was back in 1951 at Columbia, South Carolina. Old Rebel Mundy won that one in a Studebaker averaging 50 miles an hour. It's considerably different. Let's get inside with Derek Cope for just a moment. Derek, Ken Squire here at TBS Control. Can you read us?
Yes, Ken, I read it loud and clear.
How you going out there tonight? We see you're up in 15th. How's the car working?
Well, you know, on the get-go, we looked pretty good, but as we went a little farther in the run, the car got a little bit too tight for us. Right in the middle of the corner, a little bit just past the middle, and happened to fight a little bit. But we've made an adjustment now, and we'll see if we can get the motorcycle forward up front a little farther.
All right. Well, when you come by this time, you're going to be back under green. Good luck to you. 65 laps complete when they come by, and we'll be back to racing after the first caution of the day. Dick Trickle is on pit road. A black flag on him for passing on pit road. Is that right? Passing the paddle. He got out there. They put up the lollipop, and he missed it.
It simply says stop or go, and he hit the stop side, so they brought him back around.
Bobby Hillen's car as they line up on this restart. See, he is a lap car down on the inside. Cars in the lead lap up there on the outside, ready for the break. And you're riding with them as they come to the line on the 3/4 mile Richmond International Raceway.
Boy, did Walter get a jump, Ken.
What a nice start.
That was beneficial. The fact you see that kept Rusty trapped with a lap car back there. So Walter got a good jump on that start.
Waltrip and Wallace, they combined to lead 312 laps of this race a year ago. Waltrip does run well here. As we mentioned earlier, 4 times he's tasted victory in this event.
A lot of times here, you'll see him qualify back in the pack with a good race setup and work his way to the front. As well as he qualified, the light was on the wall. He's going to be in the middle of his lane.
Here comes Wallace right back after him. He may have got himself an 8-car length advantage, but now Wallace squeezes right up to make it about 2-car lengths and less than that as they come off from turn 2. Take a look at the Napa running order after 64 of 400 laps have been completed. There are your leaders going down into turn 3.
It seemed as though earlier, the longer the 17-car ran of Waltrip, the better it got. And the 2 might have given up a little bit. We'll have to see if they've worked on Rusty's car to where he can go on with and get out there and run some fast laps on long runs.
Notice Bill Elliott's back there in 16th, and Earnhardt has dropped to 20th now in those later standings.
Rusty's out there in the Walter crew.
And he's making it work.
They switched it around. They might have learned something about that outside lane.
Rusty Wallace on the outside, in front with the Pontiac. Chevrolet in second, and it's Ford in third. Neil Bonnet, Ken Squire topside tonight with Randy Pemberton, Rick Benjamin, Dick Berger, and Johnny Hayes bringing to the action of the 36th annual $700,000 Miller Genuine Draft 400 here at the old fairgrounds in Richmond, Virginia. Looking pretty spiffy these days. Take a look at Ted Musgrave. Remember, he started as a provisional in this event. You see Jimmy Spencer right there in the 12. That number 55 is not having a good time here at all. They had to take a provisional. And 12, the Bobby Allison car is smoking. Jimmy Spencer's car up on the outside. Look at this battle for second place now as Mark Martin in the 6 begins to strut his stuff. Waltrip fights him off, and then Martin's right back on the inside.
Boy, you know, Waltrip likes that outside lane, but did you see that 6 jump when he stood on the throttle? And here comes Waltrip back on that outside. You really work the car over more on that inside. Jumping on that throttle, abusing those tires with that 6, popping off that corner.
He's stomping on it, and he's getting a good bite. Look at him roll through.
Right in the middle out when he mashes gas is when he really accelerates.
On board with Mark Martin now in second position and chasing Rusty Wallace down the back straightaway into 3. Dramatic picture. Pyro camera here in that Mark Martin car. Remember, Martin is working on a modern-day record of 5 wins in a row. The last time it happened was back in the old days when they had a longer schedule. Back in 1971, Bobby Allison won 5 in a row and Richard Petty 5 in a row. But since then, 4 drivers have won 4 races in a row. Nobody's ever made it 5. That's what Martin is trying to do here tonight. If he can keep this thing rumbling.
Well, Ken is kind of looking over Mark Martin's shoulder right there. That tack was going way past 8,000 RPM. Jack Roush does not mind twisting his motors. And the thing, I think, what's happened is earlier they were blowing up. Now they've got it staying together. And, boy, there's something to deal with.
Have you got a gear? Have you got a lower one, I guess, is the question being asked out there. If you're superstitious, that 10th starting position has never paid off for anyone here at Richmond. That's where Mark Martin started tonight.
Ken, let's go down to Randy in the pits to see if he's found out what this problem is with Earnhardt.
Well, I'll tell you guys, Earnhardt, we knew he had a problem before. The car was pushing. What they decided to do was go ahead and put a rubber in the right rear, stiffen that right rear up a little bit so Dale could drive it through the corners. They didn't want the race to come to them because, frankly, they were not too far from going a lap down, probably another 30 laps or so. So they stiffened up the right rear, put one of these rubbers in, give Earnhardt a little bit of freedom so he could drive that race car. And I talked to Will Lynn, one of the crew members. He said it's doing a little better. He's picked up about 7 more spots. So a rubber on the right rear for Earnhardt, and he's doing much better.
And he has moved into 14th with that last move that he made. You see him putting a lap on Musgrave. Musgrave is a lap down and is running about 31st on the field right now. Not a good night for Musgrave at all. 30th position is showing Musgrave in the 55, the U.S. Air car. Slipping back some more here. That's an old car. It was built, I think, in 91. They're still waiting on a new short track car. They hope to have it for North Wilkesboro, but he took a provisional starting berth in the end of the field to even get in this thing tonight.
You see Bill Elliott right there behind Earnhardt. Elliott really, if anyone needs to get up there and mix up Elliott, their car is really strong. He's going to get up there and try to get to the front.
That battle is about 6 seconds back from the leader. So we'll take a quick break here from Richmond International Raceway. Joining us is the airship Shamu here at Richmond International Raceway, watching a whale of a race. As you see, we're under caution again. We're completing lap 63. But back on lap 60, the 2-time National Modified champion, Jimmy Spencer out of Berwick, Pennsylvania, climbing out of his car and not happy as he gets out. He's okay. I think they dragged him out. He didn't like to be dragged. Anyway, he's away from the car. Let's take a look at what happened up here in turn number 2. Remember, we said that car had been smoking some? Well, watch right here.
Can we pick it up after he's already turned the car around and it backed up in the wall and hit the driver's side? We had, word of smoke. It could have either been the engine or tire rubbing, and it finally blew the tire.
Earnhardt in the pits, and I said 63. Let me correct myself. It is lap 83. Here's Randy Pembroke.
I'll tell you, Earnhardt's in again, guys. They wanted him to come in the last lap, but the communication level just wasn't there. They thought about putting a rubber, I believe, in the left front. I didn't see it happen. It went in the right front is what happened. They changed 4 tires, and Earnhardt's down and away. So 2 rubbers in that car. They're making some wholesale changes on it. I thought that they'd do it with air pressure, but he was a little bit further out than that. But they're working on it.
Rick Mass, Jimmy Means now come in as we see Earnhardt coming back on the track. Spencer was running in 11th when he had this altercation with the turn 2 concrete and brought out caution number, 2 or 3 of the event. That's caution number 2. First caution ran 7 laps. So while they're clearing up that Jimmy Spencer, and incidentally, Bobby Allison is here tonight. He's right down in the suite below us with his mother Kitty watching the race. I bet he's not too tickled about that. Let's go down and talk with Rick Benjamin.
All right, thank you, Ken Squire. We're here at the STP Pit Communications Center with Johnny Hayes, and we're going to take a look at some information that you may not have heard of yet this week. You know, this is the time of the racing season, Johnny, when the fans think of it as silly season. Well, this season is a little bit different. We've had 2 of the real heroes of this sport depart in tragic fashion. We're calling it a season of transition, and we're going to show you just some of the changes that have come along so far. This all was put in motion, of course, when Alan Kulwicki tragically perished in a plane crash earlier in the year. So that opened up the seat in car number 7. Right now, it's Jimmy Hensley, but next year, Jeff Bodine's going to take over.
Yes, Jeff bought the team. He will be the driver. What happens to Jimmy Hensley, nobody knows for sure. He's done a great job in the car, and he's just on standby hoping something will come open.
Lots of rumors about a lot of these teams. We're going to run through some other ones for you. Of course, the second tragedy of the year, the passing of Davey Allison after the helicopter crash. That opened up the 28 car. Robbie Gordon, Lake Speed, took a shot at the ride. Now it's Ernie Irvin after buying out the contract. That's given a guy who's not very well known, Jeff Purvis of Clarksville, Tennessee, a chance.
Well, Jeff Purvis is well known inside the sport. He's been a great racer his whole life, great dirt champ, also a great ARCA competitor. So a new way to get in. Maybe you come in through the ARCA ranks now.
That's the story that really made a lot of news here in the past week. Purvis now with that ride permanently. Let's take a look at some other situations now. Car 15, the Bud Moore car for next year. We know Jeff Bodine is going to drive the 7th car. We understand Lake Speed is going to take over the Bud Moore ride in 94. But what about Lake Speed's own team?
Well, Lake Speed has signed a contract. He's in that ride for sure. Who's going in Lake's car? It's probably going to be a rental situation. Someone wanting an opportunity to learn how to drive a race car. I think Lake will rent it to him.
Maybe make a little money on the side. Now, let's take a look at some other situations. What's going to happen with the Rick Hendrick team? Well, we know that Terry Labonte is moving with the Kellogg sponsorship into car number 5. Ricky Rudd takes his Tide sponsorship and forms a new team. We don't know the car number or much really about that situation yet.
No, but it's all settled. They have the sponsorship. They're not too concerned. Once you have the money, you can race. Talked with Rick Hendricks earlier today. All his teams are firm. He has 3 teams. Everything. Has Jeff Gordon, the 7-year contract. Boy, is that a hot deal. He's done a great job. Schrader's home free. We're in good shape. Rick Hendricks is
Terry
home free.
Labonte in the number 5 car with Kellogg sponsorship there. Much more to talk about in this situation. We'll be back at Richmond for more of the Miller Genuine Draft 400 in just a moment. Hey, racing fans. Budweiser asks, who won? October 20th, 1985, North Carolina Motor Speedway in Rockingham. Terry Labonte in the 44 car off the pole led the early portion of this grueling 500-mile event, but he couldn't hold back the charge of Cale Yarbrough in the 28. The 33 of Harry Gant also in contention. Gant started 5th. He battled with the leaders all day long in this event. Another driver waiting in the wings in the 11, Darrell Waltrip. Waltrip and Ron Bouchard here in the 47 staged a fierce battle to the checkered flag, but who won? The answer in a moment.
The Miller Genuine Draft 400 is brought to you by Allied Signals Autolite Spark Plugs, guaranteed for 2 years no matter how far you go.
If you guessed Darrell Waltrip, you're right. Here's what happened. Cale Yarbrough seemed to have the event well in hand until he spun and crashed with Lake Speed driving the 75, the 18 driven at that time by Tommy Ellis. The crash left the door open for Ron Bouchard and Darrell Waltrip to battle it out to the finish. With 31 laps left, Waltrip surged past Bouchard underneath and held on for his 67th career Winston Cup victory. who won. Brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers with that clean, crisp, cold taste. Nothing beats a Bud.
Well, we're back with you at Richmond International Raceway. There are 92 laps complete of the 400 to be run, and I think they put a black flag out for jumping on the start on car 2, Rusty Wallace. What do you think, Neil?
Well, I tell you what, a call.
On the board.
You know, they just started the race, and they got a jump there, but I don't know what the call is on Rusty. They definitely got his number on the board.
You see, Waltrip here is running in second. Mark Martin is in third. Kyle Petty is fourth. Running fifth is Bodine. That would be Jeff Bodine. Brett Bodine is in sixth. There's the 2 cars still out there, and they still have his number up on the starter stand down here.
I tell you what, Ken, they said they called it a brake check on the restart. He got in the gas, got off, but I don't think he's coming in. You know, he's leading us. He thinks he's leading the race. Now they're putting the black flag out with a cross on it. That means they pick up your scorecard. See that black flag right there in the flagman's hand? There's a black flag tells you that flag with the X on it. When that comes on your car, they pick up your scorecard. You can run for 3 days. They just quit counting laps.
Let's see if he's going to come in now.
He is. He's coming in this time.
He's rolling down pit road. Wallace giving up the lead. This puts Waltrip first, Martin second, Kyle Petty into third, then the Bodines, Jeff and Brett, fourth and fifth. Terry Labonte is in sixth. Look at this struggle. Here's Martin down on the inside. And Mark puts that Ford to work with the Chevy up on the high side. Here's Johnny Hayes.
Ken, I have Jimmy Spencer with me. Jimmy, what happened?
Johnny cut a right rear tire down. You know, no fault of the tires. The car was smoking the right rear pretty bad. We got together with another car. Also hit the wall in the back straightaway, you know. No fault of the tires. Just a dumb mistake by the driver, you know. But I tell you something, the Meineke car was running real well, you know. Up in the top 10. Really thought I had something for him tonight, but not sitting in here.
Don't you love a driver that'll say it's a dumb mistake by the driver? I'd love to have this guy drive. You're a good guy. You're a good guy. I love him.
Hey, John Hayes, ask him what happened when he got out of the car. He didn't look too happy.
What happened when you got out of the car? You didn't look too happy.
Well, you know, I was all right. I'm not hurt or anything. And you know, the excellent job that the medical workers do, they grabbed a hold of me. And I wasn't expecting it, and I fell back. They pulled me back, and I wasn't ready to come back, and I fell out of the car. I didn't get hurt. I didn't bump my head. I never lost consciousness or anything, you know. Them cement walls are hard, but I got a hard head, too.
Yeah, he's such a dainty, pretty little thing. I'd hate to try to lift him out of a car.
Thanks, guys.
Back to y'all.
I tell you what, Spencer, he's a racer now. When you make a mistake, you just make a mistake. He's talking about the tires smoking. He thought he should possibly come in. They just went ahead and it blew out. And talking about a blowout, they come to sixth in front of him.
Oh, yeah.
He's tough when he gets up there.
Sixth race in a row, Neil, that Martin has led. He's led 17 of 23 this year.
Yeah, just to keep the fans aware of what happened, Rusty Wallace did honor that black flag. He came down pit road and he did not lose a lap. He's about a quarter lap. There he is. He's about a quarter lap in front of leaders. So if he can maintain that position and get the caution back, catch caution, he'll be back without a lot of problem. But I'm sure he was upset with that call.
So that means he's on the tail end of that lead lap. He's about a half lap down behind Dave Marcus, who's trailing the field. Now there's first and second spot. Here comes Waltrip working again on the high side. There you see Trickle's car there, and now we're looking for the 2 car. And it's going to be a while as he comes around the whole field, meandering down out of turn 4 here. And we have car number 2.
Yeah, he'll be coming here. There's a 2.
Now watch the interval this way.
And there comes the leaders.
Yep.
So he's got about a quarter lap, and he's going to run just as hard as if he were trying to win the race right now, not to go that lap down and catch a caution.
Can't be too happy down there in the Wallace pits right now. We mentioned Kyle Petty is just behind him in third. Fourth is Jeff Bodine. Fifth is Brett Bodine. Terry Labonte in sixth. Ricky Rudd in seventh.
15 cars coming down pit road. I see him turn down turn 3.
Fourth place pit car. Road. And the word is he's leaking water. Car number 15 coming in, and they say that Bodine, fourth place car, is leaking water.
Yeah, they said the thing is overheating. Oh, here they go with the hood. Boy, that's not good news when they start that.
And he's going to go down a lap right now, Jeff Bodine.
Well, this early in the race, when one's overheating, you can't doctor it up. You might can fix one where to run a few laps and finish a race. Look, the water coming out the overflow in the left rear.
Doesn't look good right now for Jeff Bodine. They're working very slowly. Here's Mark Martin out in front. What are you doing now that you weren't doing earlier in the season, Mark?
We're not racing harder now than we were earlier this year at all, or taking more risks. We have, you know, we pretty much stayed doing the same thing all through the season. It's our time now, that's all. I mean, things are just working out for us.
You know, I always have trouble with that. Remember how that was exactly what was said about Gant with that cambered rear end? Then we found out a few months later they caught on. Remember when Bill Elliott won those 11 races in '85 and they said it was his time? Then we found out that aerodynamically that car was slipperier than anything we'd ever seen, Neil.
Ken, anytime in this level of racing, when the car's as close as they are and somebody starts dominating, you say, boy, I hope it's mechanical. I hope they have found a camber rear, and I hope they found this or that. The other question mark is Jack Roush fixing to do to this series what he did to Can-Am racing. Total domination, win Daytona 7 times, 24-hour race 7 or 8 times. Anything he's got into, he's worked at it until he totally mastered it and nobody could touch him. The question is now, do they have a little trick secret, or are they fixing to do this for a long time?
I think they are fixing to do it for a while, and I think they have found something. It'll be interesting to know in the months to come just what everybody else discovers.
It's no question that Mark Martin has been ready to win these races. He's dedicated. He does a lot of physical work to be able to sit in that car and work hard, and now he's winning a lot of races.
Roush has said that Mark has been an entirely different driver than any other driver he's ever worked with, and he says, Mark has taught me some things that were totally unknown. We've grown up together in the last 5 or 6 years, and now it's beginning to work. Shamu looking down, those big eyes. There it is, over Richmond, Virginia. Got an eye on Mark Martin right now. Tomorrow on TBS, the Braves wrap up a weekend series in San Diego. The Braves at the Padres. That's live, 4 o'clock Eastern on TBS tomorrow. And we're going to update you on the scores tonight. Those old Braves are half a game in front right now after San Francisco lost this afternoon here.
Chop, 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 they're coming.
116 left, chop, chop, chop. 87 miles are now complete here at Richmond, Virginia, as Mark Martin is doing the chopping, just cutting this field to shreds right now. But the guy that's even faster is Rusty Wallace. What a great shot off Derek Cope's car as he comes down that straightaway, about 150, 60 miles an hour in that range. Giving you an idea just how close they run, how consistently they get out there. Stay right on that wall, hold that line, keep those RPMs up. There's your leader, Martin, with the advantage over Waltrip. And drawing away at the present time is that car that's out back. I'm talking about the number 2. He's about to collect Marcus and Phil Parsons and some others and begin to work his way back through the field. Dick Berggren has a pit report for us.
I'm with Jeff Bodine. His car is behind the wall. There's water pouring out of this thing absolutely everywhere. The crew thinks the problem is a blown head gasket. Jeff, any chance they can get this thing back out?
I didn't hear you, Dick, but we're leaking water, so I'm pushing water out of the engine. We've had this problem for 2 years. Can't seem to keep those head gaskets sealed up. I want to say something. Tim Robertson with the Family Channel gave me a donation today for my bobsled effort of $100,000. I want to thank him. That's a great thing. That's going to put us in the Olympics, hopefully with gold medals in Lillehammer this winter.
This guy never gives up, does he? He's always interested in racing, even when he's behind the wall.
Yeah, even it's the one that he doesn't feel too comfortable sitting in either. Take a look at this 5 and 11 squabble. This is for 7th spot. Here's Elliott on the inside and Ricky Rudd. Understand his number next year will be 10. Still have the Tide colors.
They're talking, we were questionable about number 4, but I think they're looking at the number 10 car with the Tide spots. Well, you know, we talked about that earlier, all these changes going on with the tragedy we had with the 2 top drivers and then start shuffling things around. I've never seen the sport make so many moves as we'll see at the end of the season. And not only that, during the season.
And it really isn't silly. It is a time of transition in NASCAR. Taking a look at the Napa standings a little further back in there, you see Kenny Wallace, rookie, back in 3rd place in the standings, currently showing a good stout 15th, and all those cars are in the lead lap. In fact, 25 cars as you look at these standings from Napa, are in the lead lap at the present time. See Harry Ganch's name. Remember 91 when he won this race as part of that 4 string that he had? Well, right now, Mark Martin is trying to move into new territory. The first man in modern stock car history since they cut that schedule back to 30 races to win 5 in a row. Can he stay there? Well, right now he's staying there in front of Darrell Waltrip in second and Kyle Petty in third. Very consistent laps. You know, Martin works out, tries so hard to keep himself in the best possible physical trim, as hard as Jack Roush keeps those cars in top mechanical order.
You know, we're talking about top mechanical order, the car Mark Martin lead race. Here's the team car. Watch this 16 car when he goes down in the corner. Now watch when he backs off the throttle here. Every lap he's been going in the corner, well, he must be coming in. The thing has just been really popping out the tailpipes. He's had a big blaze out of that thing. His haters have really been good in turn 1. We'll see, follow him down and see if it does it again. But he's had some kind of problem. Might be a cracked head or whatever. That thing's been blazing all the way through the corner. It's not going to do. Sometime a cracked header would do that, but that extended fire like that, something seems to be wrong.
Looks like those old GMC truck engines they used to race on the dirt 30 years ago. They're throwing balls of fire down the track. Take a look at this map. Here it is, the 25 car. That's Schrader going for 10th against Rick Mast. Mast right there in that car number 1 in a good struggle. Rockbridge, Vaz, Virginia, Rick Mast in the black and white number 1 looking for a good finish. Good, consistent runner. Hasn't had much luck in the past couple of years and knows you have to make your own here. That battle is about 14 seconds back from Mark Martin out in front. And there you see Dale Earnhardt, or rather Dale Jarrett right there with them, and Dale Earnhardt right behind him. So to give you that again, that would be 10th Schrader, then 11th Mast, 12th Jarrett, 13th Earnhardt, 14th is Michael Waltrip, Kenny Wallace 15th, Harry Gant 16th. On board with Jimmy Hensley further back in the field.
While we're watching now, this the 15 was just black flagged again. It's pumping water all the way around the racetrack, so they're bringing him back in. The 7 car we're riding in here is the car that Jeff Bodine purchased for the race team, and he'll be driving it next year.
That's the last car on the lead lap. He's in 25th position. Cellular 1. Here's Earnhardt beginning to scramble, rolling up through some machinery.
They check.
Michael Waltrip coming with him. Excuse me.
That's fine, Ken. We checked with Randy Pemberton on that last stop. They did put a rubber in the right rear, which would loosen the car up a little bit. That didn't help it enough. They put a rubber in the left front also to loosen it up even more. So they're struggling. That thing's not doing what he wants to do, and it'll make for a long night if they don't get it any better.
Schrader 11th, Earnhardt 12th, and Michael Waltrip the 13th, with 14th belonging to Dale Jarrett in this particular portion of the race, which is 131 laps complete. Oh, we've got a big problem out here with the 75 getting turned around. 3 cars, caution coming out involved.
Looked like the 44 car. I couldn't tell. Yeah, the 44.
Rick Wilson is in it. No question that Todd Bodine in his second ride in that Butch Mock car has gotten into that pretty good size, and there was a 3rd car that drove off from it.
It's that inside wall. There's both cars
going
trying to move.
3.
The 75 looked like he cranked up, moved a little bit. He can't go. Now the 44 is running again, but I believe he's got so much damage he's not going to be able to move.
3rd caution is out as they rumple up a couple out here.
There's the 15 car checking with his brother there. Here's the 44 on the inside coming up off turn 2. They get together right there, turn them around side by side, and they're headed for that inside wall. There's the leader. Mark Martin just cleared the wreck.
From another angle.
This is after they've lost it. They're headed down that inside. We just saw Mark Martin clear the wreck. Wham, right in that inside wall. Boy.
Mark Martin is now in the pits. Dick Bergman's there.
All the leaders are in the pits, Ken, and Mark Martin, like everybody else, is going to take a 4-tire change. This is a brand new race car you're watching here. You might have thought he would have gone with one of the cars he had won with, but nope, something brand new with good polish. There he goes.
And Kyle Petty coming right with him.
Maybe a bad sign for the people. He just made a chassis adjustment on that thing, trying to get it better.
Here's Randy.
Terry Labonte and Jeff Gordon, as well as Dale Earnhardt, were in up at this end. It seemed like the biggest loser on those pit stops was the Terry Labonte team. I think they lost a few spots. No major changes, though.
That accident was at lap 131. We're now working 133. Now, there you see the Rick Wilson car, badly torn up. Looks like it could be the end of the day for Richard Petty's hopes. Here is Rick Wilson clambering out. Looks to be okay. And the early word is that things are all right on the younger of the Bodine brothers, Todd. So, at 1:34, we come around to time. We'll pause for these messages and be back with you at Richmond. 71,000 seats, every one of them sold since this past April at Richmond International Raceway, enjoying a beautiful night and a great race here in this $700,000 Miller Genuine Draft 400. With Neil Bonnet, I'm Ken Squire topside. We're in our third caution period, which came about on lap 131 with a two-car jam session going into turn number 3 that looks like it's eliminated the STP car of Rick Wilson and young Todd Bodine driving the Butch Martin car as well, being towed away. Earlier today, Lieutenant Colonel Ron Hall presented the U.S. Air Force Reserve's Commander's Performance Award.
Hello, Ken. Hi, racing fans. This is Lieutenant Colonel Ron Hall presenting another Air Force Reserve Commander's Performance Award. And if you're mechanically inclined, pick up the phone and call the Air Force Reserve Recruiting Office. They'd love to hear from you. We gave 2 Air Force Reserve Commander's Performance Awards earlier today to Mr. Ken Squire and Mr. Fred Reinstein. Ken, of course, being the host of the show, and Fred behind the scenes as producer of the show. So congratulations to you, Ken and Fred. Now, with me today to receive the award is a man who started here winning in 1977 with his first Winston Cup race, Mr. Neil Bonnet. Thank you for being here. Please accept this award on behalf of the Air Force Reserve. It recognizes your abilities as a driver, your service to the sport of racing and to NASCAR, and certainly your TV exploits and your new TV show winners. Congratulations, and please accept this on behalf of the Air Force Reserve.
Colonel, it's a great honor to accept this award, especially coming from a bunch of winners like the Air Force. It's a great honor. Thank you.
I thought they were going to give you that award for that little job of flying you did at Talladega.
I had it, Kim, but that crash landing canceled it all out.
Okay. We'll be back with more in a moment and for the restart here. 138 are complete. We're getting this field organized to go racing again at Richmond. Race is just back under green. They come around a complete lap 142. They hit it at 141. And there you see Mark Martin out in front with Kyle Petty there. And as they scramble down into turn number 1, the 18 car mixing it up with him. I think they have him on the tail end of that lap as they get this race resumed.
Yeah, they're showing the 18 as a lap down. The 42 car is showing a lot of strength here right now. Jumping up through that traffic. He's right there behind Martin.
143 laps complete. 107 miles complete in this 400 lap event. And you see Mark Martin dominating. It's like he wants to get himself that 5th Winston Cup victory in a row and set a modern day record. Several other drivers have scored 4 wins in the season, but to do it 5 times hasn't been done since 1971 when they were on the old schedule.
If you'll look right here behind this group, there's Rusty Wallace just behind Earnhardt. There we go. We see the 2 cars. That caution put him right back in the middle of this thing. And I imagine he's driving with a vengeance after that black flag. He was running way faster. When Mark Martin was leading the race, this 2 car was running faster laps than Martin. But he's having to come up through here after he was put back with that black flag. And
up to 11th spot.
We'll deal with him before tonight's over.
You see Bobby Labonte just in front of him in 10th spot, number 22. Wallace closing in on it. Dick Trickle down to the inside of that yellow car. They stack him almost 3 wide as Earnhardt tries the outside. Clutch and transmission change on Earnhardt after the final practice this afternoon has left them trying to gather back that finesse they usually have when the race starts. There goes Terry Labonte onto the bottom in car number 14 and makes a good move on 22-year-old Jeff Gordon out of Pittsburgh, Indiana, the leading rookie on the Winston Cup Tour.
There's Gordon working that outside lane really good. Ooh, the 5 car got right in the back of the 14 just a little bit. They tapped a little bit in the middle of that corner. Ooh, we see the 14 wiggling right there. A little bit of contact. Goes Earnhardt on the outside. Rudd driving up on the inside, the orange 5.
This battle's about 3 seconds behind the leader, Mark Martin. To look from on top at this struggle. See Bobby Hillin down to the inside of the 90. Jeff Gordon, 24, right beside him.
And it really shows, you'll see off of this corner, it's a real easy, wide exit. You don't flirt with the wall a whole lot. You got a little bit of room.
Not much you don't. Look
yeah,
at
but
that.
you got that arc right there. But now watch this right here coming off turn 2. You go down in turn 1, pinch it down the bottom, and these guys, if they won't turn out, they're going to jump out there right on top of that wall. See the car just fly out against the wall. A lot sharper turn there, hardest part of the track.
High above Richmond, our aerials today provided by Ray Bestis, the best in brakes. Martin first, Petty second, Elliott third. Darrell Waltrip is in fourth. Brett Bodine is fifth. Gordon is in sixth in that 24 car. Right behind him comes Labonte in seventh. And you see Earnhardt in eighth. Let's go back up front. There you see Martin. And there you see the interval he's pulling off between himself and Kyle Petty in second. At the speed in the last lap on car number 6, 118 mile an hour average on this 3/4 mile track. Morgan Shepherd's getting ready to re-enter many, many laps down.
Again, Dick Berger's down in the 6-car pit. Let's go down there and see what's happening with this 6.
Well, Neil, everybody wants to know how come Mark Martin is winning all these races. And I asked Jack Roush, and he said, well, here's a piece of it right here in my hand. One of his classmates manufactures this 1800s replica Winchester knife. He's had it in his pocket for every one of the wins with these knee pads. Steve Neal is wearing those. Guess what? He's had those on his knees for every win. He says he's going to wear them for absolutely ever. Luck, they say, is playing a little bit of a role here.
I don't know. I just can't believe a knife and a knee pad makes that turn 8,400 RPM. And when he turns, it cuts. And when he mashes brake, it stops. They got a heck of a race car there. And I think one thing about it, we said, you know, here we are with a brand new race car. Why wouldn't they come with something old? These guys build a used race car every week.
They'd like to have you think that it's a matter of knee pads and jackknives and so forth. Look at Brett Bodine in the 26 car in the spot, holding his own for the moment. Right beside him is Dale Jarrett going down a lap, and right comes Gordon behind that 26. About 4 seconds back from the leaders. Brett Bodine having another good run here at Richmond tonight. Take a look at Bill Elliott. Didn't see much of him tonight, and he has squared off in 3rd spot and is running very well right now.
He's running 3rd place. That's the best they've run in a long time. They must have had a good pit stop. The guys got him out there, and he's able to hold that position now.
Kenny Wallace has gone back behind the wall. Junior Johnson looking on as Bill Elliott maintains that 3rd position. Kenny Wallace has gone back behind the wall in car number 40. Take a look at this struggle. As Earnhardt in the 3. Works on the bottom side. He's in 8. Terry Labonte in number 14 and 7. Ricky Rudd is in 9th in the car 5. And that 24 car in 6 is Gordon.
We saw the 2 of Rusty Wallace coming up back there too. Good pack of cars right here. They've been running like this 6 or 8 laps. Earnhardt's tried repeatedly to get around Labonte. He couldn't do it. Labonte's been working on 24. Seems to have leveled out. That group is running just about the best they can do right now.
Earnhardt in 8. Good 3-way battle. Take a look at Rusty Wallace closing in on Ricky Rudd. Battle for 9th. Jarrett pinned on the outside. Schrader back there in 11th. In 10th is Wallace. And then in that 9th, it's Ricky Rudd in number 5. Bill Elliott getting around Kyle Petty. Elliott is now in the 2nd spot.
He got up on him coming off the 4th turn. He just jumped out in front of him. Elliott, we said earlier in the show, Elliott needed to run good. They've been off the pace. Maybe this is the night.
So, at lap 160, Bill Elliott. Looks like the Elliott of old back in the mid-'80s as he closes on Mark Martin.
Promotional fees and considerations have been paid by the following. First Brands Corporation, makers of STP engine treatment. Help stop engine wear before you start. And by Heilig Myers Furniture Company, the proud sponsor of Bobby Hillen's Ford Thunderbird. And by True Value Hardware Stores. Got a tough job to do? They'll see you through it. You can do it with True Value Hardware Stores. And by Pyroil Automotive Chemicals, technically advanced, performance tested, and value priced. And by SeaWorld, bringing you airship Shamu, SeaWorld's traveling goodwill ambassador.
Here's Mark Martin at lap 167, continuing to build on that lead as he goes for his 5th win. Now here's Rusty Wallace. He's moved under Ricky Rudd, and he is challenging Dale Earnhardt for 8th position. Wallace coming on with a vengeance here as we get down toward the midway mark. Defending champion, Rusty Wallace. Got a consultation flag. Had to come on pit road. Nearly a lap down, has fought his way back into this thing. Here you see him fighting to take 8th spot away from Dale Earnhardt, the man who's going for his 6th Winston Cup championship in the 1993 season. Meanwhile, Elliott and Waltrip at it. Waltrip closing in on Bill Elliott.
And this is for second place, Ken, because they just got around Kyle Petty, so this is the battle for second place.
And they're 3 seconds back to the leader. Waltrip to the inside. Elliott in this race has never had much luck. Of course, he's won in the earlier race. It's now held in March. But 4th on 3 occasions. 83, 87, and 90 is the best that Bill Elliott could stitch together in this event. Here he is, wheel to wheel with Waltrip down the inside. Waltrip going to second, and Elliott fighting right back and brings that Ford off that second corner. Boy, what a bite that thing has.
Yeah, and that's a tough move to make on the inside. We're talking about that being a tight corner, that inside line. You pinch it down. He's got a better chance at him on the inside coming off this corner. You got a sweep and turn. It doesn't bog your car down as bad. See, he held a lot better line, but now he's going to have to pay the price on this end. He has to pinch his car down. If Elliott can get in the throttle, he'll make that big jump on him again right here. There comes Elliott pulling back on the outside. Waltrip held his line a little bit better. Now he's going to have that advantage on this big arcing corner, so Waltrip should be able to make a pretty decent run at him right here.
That's the way they complete lap 173 in this war for second position as Martin continues to lead by 3 3/10 of a second. Here you see Kyle Petty running 4th just behind them. About 150, they step off for just a moment. Describe getting into that corner here.
Well, we're watching Waltrip right here. He's coming at this front straightaway, and you drive so much deeper in this corner you think you ever can. Just still in the throttle, in the throttle, in the throttle. They roll out way down in the center right here, and then it's just wide open. Not any feet in the gas, just stand in the throttle, and it looks like it's going to knock that wall down there, and the car will cut. These things will do things you think they want. An average person get there and you say it's not going to make this turn. But these things are capable of making turns you wouldn't believe, and it feel like it's going to knock the fence down.
And even with that 5-point seat belt and that special seat built in, it still feels like it's going to throw you over on the passenger side.
Well, it does. It sends your head for a ride over there. Well, you got everything tied down but your head. That's where you see these drivers going these big head braces on the side of their seats.
Waltrip, 30 top 10s and 38 starts at Richmond, and he's having a phenomenal night tonight, but not as good as Mark Martin's having. The Jack Roush car is on rails and pulling away. It's 3 5/10 of a second by which car number 6, the Jack Roush Valvoline Ford, is pulled out in front. Now, there are the gentlemen that have won 4 consecutive Winston Cup races in the modern era. In 1976, Cale pulled it off. Waltrip in 81, Earnhardt, Gant, Elliott, Mark Martin, all great names for the era, and it's Mark Martin tonight going for number 5. Back to 71 if you're just joining us. The last time anyone won 5, and that was when the season was considerably longer, and in that year, both Richard Petty and Bobby Allison succeeded in 5 wins in a row. What were you doing in 71?
I I was racing, but it wasn't up here. I was going to little bitty racetracks all over the country running back then. Did you see Jack Roush on top of that toolbox then? You know, he's so used to leading races, I don't believe he gets excited anymore.
I think he's getting excited about this.
Well, he's got his knife in his pocket. Nothing can happen.
He's probably got his firmly pressed with his forefinger and thumb right about now. It's now 4 5/10 of a second. 4.5 between the 6th and the rest of the field. He's saying, good night, nurse. He's gone. I'll see you.
Ken, let me tell you what. If the race fans sitting here wondering what could this 6 be doing to do this week in and week out, what have they done to do this? Can you imagine what those race teams are? As close as Winston Cup racing is nowadays, they're sitting and saying, hey, man, what are these guys doing to us? I saw last night, even in the Busch race, the Winston Cup people stayed over and watched that Busch car run to see if they could find something out.
Take a look at the whole field here. Pick out your favorite as they come by. Come on, Bonnet, you're down there all the time. What do you think Roush is doing the rest of them haven't caught on to?
Again, I don't know. Maybe it's just happened and they've got it that good. I don't know. But everybody's hoping they've got something mechanical that everybody else is going to find out about. But they might just have come together and going to be something to deal with for a while.
Well, unless something untoward goes off on car number 6, it's now 4 8/10 of a second. Like a bandit in the night, Mark Martin continuing to attack in our live coverage here on TBS. Watching Martin try to do what no one has done in the modern stock car era, win 5 in a row. Junior Johnson looks a little determined to change that.
Back at Richmond International Raceway, some of our fans taking a break, getting a snack, as we're about midway tonight in the Miller Genuine Draft 400. So far, it's been a Mark Martin benefit show, or at least the last 100 laps or so. Great to have you with us tonight live here on TBS. Rick Benjamin from the STP Vic Communications Center. We pulled Johnny Hayes away from Jimmy Spencer. You were having such a good time with Spencer. I didn't know if you'd ever come back and see us to talk more about some of these driver changes.
Spencer's awesome, isn't he?
He sure is, as we watch the leaders work. Tell us about this guy.
Hank Parker. This is one of my neighbors. He's one of the world's greatest bass fishermen. I don't have a clue what his fisher's doing there.
Well, I tell you what.
What about it, Neil?
I can tell you what the deal is. Hank Parker's a big friend of all. A lot of the race car drivers. He goes fishing with a bunch of guys, big sportsmen. He's bought a Busch race car.
Really?
He's going to put his little. He's won the Bassmaster Championship a couple of times, and then he's going to jump on his racing.
Hank's not real smart, folks.
Uh-oh. Well, we'll look for him out there. But let's take a look at some of the upcoming driver changes in Winston Cup. Now, we know that Wally Dallenbach is leaving Jack Roush. Ted Musgrave takes the chair. What about Wally?
Well, Wally's rumored to several different cars. I think he's just waiting to see how everything falls, but he'll end up somewhere.
Richard Petty's team?
It's one of the rumors. As a matter of fact, I followed up on that. I talked with Richard Petty and Rick Wilson. Rick Wilson pointed out quickly that he had a one-year contract and he would evaluate it after it was over. Richard Petty made it perfectly clear. When I decided to put someone else in my car, we'll let you know. The king has spoken.
As only the king can do. Let's show you some of the other changes that are coming up as we look ahead to 1994. The 41 car, the Larry Hedrick team. We know that Phil Parsons is leaving there in a Busch Grand National style. Robert Presley's going to move in.
Yes, there's been no announcements on that officially, but I think everyone believes that Robert will be replacing Phil. What happens to Phil? Still going to be a lot of rides come open, and he's one of those key guys that could jump into something else.
Phil Parsons back in action this year in the 41 car. Other driver changes likely to come ahead as we see Robert Presley will be taking over that spot in the 41 as far as we know now. That leaves the DK Ulrich car, the 55 open at this point.
Yes, and I talked with the people there, and again, they're going to hold their options open, see who's available, because they may have 2 or 3 people to choose from. It's a good race car.
Musical chairs, and there's a lot of changes still to come. A couple of drivers who are going to move up from Busch Grand National to Winston Cup next year.
Yes, I think Joe Nemechek is going to do his own team, so that's good because he can own the team and he doesn't have to get fired as a driver. Ward Burton's definitely coming up. He's coming up with a Hardy sponsorship.
And Hoosier Tire. The Hoosier Tire deal will be his also.
Yes, exactly right. That'll be the Hoosier Tire car.
So that'll be really interesting to watch too. And there are other changes we'll talk about, I guess, a little later on.
Riding with Mark Martin here as we review the changes and the transition that's going on. Pretty awesome how many changes are happening as we look forward to 1994 and that first race at Daytona. 195 laps complete, 5 away from halfway, and Martin's lead is being cut into. Waltrip is definitely closing. Remember how it was 4.5 seconds? Throw that one away. It's now 3 4/10 of a second. As Waltrip and Elliott are definitely closing in. I guess he's run the wheels off that number 6.
I'm not so sure. I think Mark is just lonely out there, and he wants some company. He's so tired of running around out there by himself.
Wants a friend.
But we've seen Mark get out there. He's in the Busch race last night. He'd lead the race, and somebody come up on him, and all of a sudden he'd squirt that thing out there and get a 2-second lead, and they'd close in, he'd move out. He's so used to running these races. It's kind of like in golf. Some guys are good leaders. Mark Martin's an excellent leader. He gets out there, he runs the pace he needs to stay out front.
Well, the guy that's just cleaning house right now continues to be Rusty Wallace. After losing time, being sent to pit road, he's come back with a vengeance. And right now, Wallace has got himself up into 5th spot. He's taken Bodine. He has taken the number 24 of Jeff Gordon. And he continues to be as quick as anything on the racetrack. Here's Wallace looking for Kyle Petty in the 42 right now. Martin stays first. Darrell Waltrip second. Bill Elliott third. Kyle Petty fourth. And this man, Rusty Wallace, is 5th in our live coverage here on Turner Sports tonight. It's about 6 7/10 of a second from leader Martin back to Rusty Wallace in this 3/4 mile track right now. In 7th, there you find Jeff Gordon. In 8th is Rick Mast. 9th out here is Terry Labonte, and 10th is Earnhardt. 11th is Ricky Rudd. 12th is Schrader. Gant is running 13th as we come to halfway. We are at halfway. Mark Martin takes the halfway award tonight. In car number 6, about to put another lap on Dave Marcus as you ride with him going down the back straightaway. If you're just joining us, 71,000 seats here at Richmond, Virginia. Every one of them sold since last April. And what a race they're seeing as Mark Martin tries to rewrite stock car history books and win 5 in a row. Hasn't been done since 1971. Hasn't been done in the modern era of stock car racing. And the young man from Batesville, Arkansas, is determined to do that here tonight. And we're with you all the way to see if he can pull it off.
And I'll tell you what, he's headed in that direction. Boy, look at Rusty Wallace just drive right around Kyle Petty. Kyle's been running good.
Oh, my heart move. He just went up the outside and flew by.
Yeah, I'm sure Rusty knows if he can get that thing back to the front. He was the man leading the race for that black flag. And he was a little upset with the call, so I'm telling you, once he gets there, he's going to be rooting around to go to the front.
His sponsor. This is the sponsor of the event, and here comes Earnhardt around Ricky Rudd. That's back there in 10th spot. They've been dicing for a while, first one and then the other, and now it's Earnhardt again, taking the high side, and on the rim ride, collects that spot back again. Earnhardt gets to Rudd, now he takes it back.
Yeah, that's 10th, and that's a half a lap behind. That's a good indication the way Mark Martin is running. They're just about a half a lap behind Mark Martin.
Well, guys, I'll tell you, Steve Neal just come over, crew chief for Mark Martin. He said, Mark, let's just take it easy now. Let's ride and take care of our stuff. I listened to the scanner back at Darlington a week ago, and Steve keeps him so calm in the race car, and he sounds very calm tonight. I believe Mark's running about 90%, but as we stand right now, no question about it, the 2 fastest cars on the racetrack, Rusty Wallace and Mark Martin, but Mark is not going to race until he's got somebody to race with.
Need to check that interval between first and second. It's about 6.5 seconds between Rusty Wallace back there in 4th and Mark Martin is your leader. And we'll check that interval between Martin and second place man Darrell Waltrip. Bill Elliott stays in 3rd, right there with Waltrip. 206 laps are now complete. Take a look further back here.
Ken, you know, earlier we were speculating, wondered what happened with that black flag. Let's go down to Dick Bergeron and see if he can tell us why they made that call.
Well, Neil, you called it correctly from on top. They thought that perhaps Rusty Wallace had given the field a brake check. The crew down here vehemently argued that's not what happened, but that was what the penalty was all about.
Dick, you know, they called us up here and said they thought it was a brake check. That's just a judgment call. You know, Rusty was on the pole, and as he tried to get off the corner there, he just got a good shot. They called it that. You know, it's a tough call to make, but Rusty's having to pay the price, but he's coming back.
A little short braking was the call. He stood on it a little to discombobulate the rest of the field. That's a great short track trick. I'm sure you never did that, Neil.
Well, I did it several times, but I never got black.
You never got caught. Always make the guy behind you look awful when you do that. Here comes Mark Martin putting another lap down, this time on Strickland. He continues to shake, ramble, and roar around Richmond. "214 laps, 160 miles in this 400-lap race, and this three-quarter-mile track have been completed. Waltrip's in second to Martin. In third spot, it's Bill Elliott having a great night here at Richmond. In fourth spot is Rusty Wallace, and he's the quickest thing out here. And in fifth place, Kyle Petty. That was the rundown after 2:11. The board is now showing 2:15. There's Mark Martin leading. Wallace, about 4 laps ago, was at 6.5 behind him. Then he cut it to 6.2, then 6 flat. Now it's 5.9 as Rusty Wallace back in fourth place. Now it's 5.7 as he closes even tighter. And in between Wallace and Martin are Waltrip and Elliott running second and third. Now there they are. Darrell Waltrip in that second spot trying to lap Dave Marcus, and right with him comes Bill Elliott in the 11. One of 2 short track races that Bill Elliott won was right here at Richmond. Always did well in the super speedways. Cuts it to 3.5.
Taking big chunks out of it right now. The question is, we just heard from the pits, Steve Mill told Martin to save his stuff, keep the car under him. We're going to wait to see if he gets down there and then see if he can get back away from Rusty.
Meanwhile, further back in the field, in 11th now, is Dale Earnhardt in number 3. He's running 11th on the field. This is the guy that is the master of psychological warfare. Listen to this assessment of the runner-up chances for the Winston Cup title this year.
Well, they're just in a win-win situation. They got to go for it. If they try to take it easy and just finish good, that ain't going to gain them anything. They got to go out and try to win races, because we're going to go out there and run hard, try to win the race too. So it's still a race. You got to race hard, and I'm glad to see them 3 cars up top every week. It's been, since Bristol and Arlington, we all been up front racing. So I hope it comes down to like that for every race from here on to the end of the season.
It's nice you can say that when you got a 300-point lead.
Yeah,
you don't
right.
mind seeing those other guys around you. But I tell you what, nobody's told Mark Martin yet he's out of this thing.
8 races are left in the season. Earnhardt has won 5 times here at Richmond over the years, and now you're riding again. Live pictures from Mark Martin's car. Boy, what a great job they did in that wall up in turn 4 here at this Richmond track. I always used to body and see them run right down on it, and you knew that sooner or later somebody would pinch somebody into it, and they'd have a whale of a wreck. They've done a good job in fixing that. Here's Martin staying in front. Waltrip and Elliott still in this race now is following a pattern. Stabilized. It's right there with this number 6 out in front. And the story of the race is Wallace in the number 2, who continues to clamber up, taking a little back on every lap. By the way, Rick Wilson, all battered and tattered, car number 44, is going to come back on the track many laps down in the STP car for Richard Petty. But it is soundly thrashed. Just coming out, it's been in, 50, 60 laps. There's the 11, Elliott, staying third.
Ken, here we are with the 11 car. Let's go down to pits with Dr. Dick Berger, the editor of Stock Car Magazine. He's got us an update on this 11.
Oh, I love that throw, Neil Bonnet. I'm with Mike Beam. Mike, what have you got for Darrell Waltrip and the 6 of Mark Martin?
Well, the car's got a little tight right now, but, Dick, we've come a long ways in a couple weeks, and I think we kind of know what we've done wrong tonight. We'll just ride out here and hopefully have a good night, but we're going to keep working. This is a new car in Darlington, and Tuesday morning we cut the front frame section out from under, so we really brought a new car up here in the front wheel, so I think we'll be okay.
Boy, Billy, it's hot. Look out. Randy Pemberton.
Barry Johnson standing there. Barry, you're certainly one of the best 2 or 3 out there. Do you have anything for Mark right now when Rusty's coming?
He's the man, you have to take care of your brakes up here. And our Western Auto Chevy's running good. It can run a little faster, but we're just past halfway. Mark's going to be awful tough to beat, you know. Certainly we're going to try to be the guys to do it. But we're happy. It's a big turnaround for us, and we felt like it was coming time.
Barry Dotson doing a good job for Darrell Waltrip. Does a good job for anybody with whom he's connected. Here's Mark Martin staying out in front. And Elliott having a very good night. You know, Elliott's only led one race this year, Neil. That was in July when we were down there watching you doing your aerial antics there at Talladega.
Yeah, flying around here. And talk about flying around. We just heard from the pits, Ken, talking about brakes. He said, you got to take care of your brakes. Let's follow this 2-car and take a look inside this left front wheel when he goes down. He's going up this back straightaway, and watch when he stands on the brakes. I want you to take a look inside this wheel right here at the brake rotor. See that thing turn cherry red inside there? They're using these brakes so much on this racetrack at that high speed, 140, 50 miles an hour, stand on the brakes, and that was just like when they were telling Mark Martin, let's save our stuff. You got to have a good motor, but you also got to be able to stop that car and make it turn right in the middle of that corner. And there's a lot more to going fast than a gas pedal. You got to keep the brake system on these cars. We'll see it again right here. See the red center section just melting those brakes every corner.
How long can they take that much abuse?
Well, let me tell you what, these brake companies that work with Winston Cup cars, we're using metal pads against metal rotors, and they'll run the distance, but you can throw them away when it's over. It pretty well eats the rotors and the brakes up, but you can't overuse them. If you pace yourself, you got plenty. The problem is you get it so hot, they just do not make a fluid that will not boil. And when you get it that hot and boil the fluid, you're going to start backing up.
On board with Mark Martin, the leader. Now it's 6 3/10 of a second between Mark and Rusty. And I think the pressure cooker that Rusty Wallace was trying to create, that word has gone back up front, and Mark Martin has been told to get busy.
That's right. Steve Mill, I'm sure they probably gave Rusty 3 seconds, and then they said, hey, now, I've been in a situation before, you say, well, here he comes, now let's bury him. Show him you can put him 4 more seconds back down, and then when you got him down, you stomp him. So Mark Martin's in a position now that he can break your spirit. You run him down, then he mashes gas and drives away.
On board with Derek Cope, Dale Yarborough car. Derek Cope is running 18th on the field. And now you're with Bobby Hillen. Bobby Hillen is back in 23rd position. Couple of laps down, scooting down here onto the bottom of the racetrack. Working his way around here in front of the sold-out Capacity House at Richmond International Raceway. Great night for racing on Turner Broadcasting, and we'll be back come October at Charlotte. Bring you the 500.
Yeah, that was an interesting shot when we were watching Bobby Hillen. You see him working that steering wheel back and forth, and when we see a picture of Mark Martin, it's like he's on a Sunday drive. His car works so good, very little movement of the steering wheel, and the guys that are chasing, they're jacking those cars all over the racetrack, trying to keep up. Mark's car is like it's on a rail.
Putting a lap on the pole sitter, Bobby Labonte, as we've completed 233 laps. Grains of sand dropping away here as our Raybestos aerial platform gives you the view of this great facility in Richmond, Virginia, where it's all Mark Martin right now. At lap 239, anticipate pit stops under green in about 3 to 4 laps. Mark Martin to come in here, make a pit stop, and it will be teamwork that will count. Down on pit road, we'll have our cameras there for you. This battle, as you're watching Derek Cope, the leader right behind him, trying to put him another lap down. And there goes that number 6, scooting right by. Mark Martin, you're on board with the leader as he comes down the main straightaway. Mark Martin, a lot of folks at home want to know how close is what we see on television. Oh, wait a minute. Let's just hang in here a minute. Rusty Wallace is on pit road. Wallace is in. Let's go to Dick Berggren.
Ken, this was a planned pit stop. They had slowed down a full second a lap from when they had new tires on the car. It's about 110 laps since the last pit stop. 4 tire change under the green flag. Billy Wilburn working that left front tire really hard now. All these guys are in an exercise program. Wow, what a pit stop.
Blazing pit stop on car number 2. Strickland coming in. We're getting a time right now. And now car number 6, 19.4 on the lead on that Rusty Wallace car. And now the leader is coming in. You're riding with Mark Martin as he eases down at 45 miles an hour. speed limit on pit road. Let's go down to Randy with car 6.
Well, Steve Neal's crew all over it. I think they're going to try and take it easy. Had a nice lead. Mark was running comfortably out there. The left side tires are being loosened up. Right sides are on. Jack is down on the right-hand side. Second can of gas already in. Crew looking very smooth here. They're going to move the right front tire that was taken off away so Mark can get away clear. The car is down and away. Mark's gone. 1.6, a nice smooth pit stop. Kyle Petty's in up pit road.
Most of the leaders are coming in. Wally Dallenbach is in. Waltrip has stayed out in the 17. Schrader is now coming onto pit road. He had picked himself up to 4th. Waltrip leading, Elliott's in 2nd. Those two cars have been running 2nd and 3rd. There's Schrader in. Right side rubber on that one.
Yeah, the guys that lead Waltrip and Elliott are two of the guys that are notorious for gas mileage, so they'll stay out there long time. Schrader, good service right here with his car.
Jeff Ford.
17 coming down pit road, the leader coming in.
Following DW. Let's go back to Randy Pemberton as we wait for car 17 to make this critical pit stop.
Barry Dotson and the crew wait for Darrell's arrival. Of course, this is one of the teams that has practiced their pit stops over the air. He's just ahead of Jeff Gordon on pit road. They're going to the right side. Gordon pulls away. Dick Trickle also behind him. They're done with the right-hand side tires right now. Going around the left-hand side. This crew's flying. It looks like a pretty good stop. He wants to try and make up some ground on Mark Martin on pit road. They've been desperately working on their pit stops. He's down and away.
Great pit stop. 17-9.
Oh, yeah, that's a tremendous stop. The guys must have been working on it to get him out. That's a Rusty Wallace type stop.
Look at this. Here's that second place car, and Derek Cope coming in as well. You see Elliott on the outside, Derek Cope right there with him as they come down, and let's watch Elliott stop. Junior Johnson team ready to go to work. Here's Dick Berggren.
Elliott has soldiered his way to the front all day. He started way back at 26. Hardly anybody even noticed that he was here. But here he is now on pit road, coming out of the lead. The brake rotors on the front of this car are glowing absolutely cherry red. They are using the brakes for all they're worth here at Richmond Speedway. 4 tire change, as has been the case for everybody, and Elliott is gone.
And a good stop by that crew, as you would expect. And right with them comes that Derek Cope group. And take a look at 25, and look what's hanging off the back of it up there on the top of the window.
Right in the left rear window. They were working on the wedge just in the chassis some, and they left the ratchet and the extension down in there. NASCAR black flagged them. That thing flies out, goes through a windshield. It'll hurt somebody, so it'll be a stop and go. They'll stop, they'll snatch that ratchet out of there, and he'll be gone. But boy, is that costly. That speed limit on pit road really cost you some distance.
So, back comes Ken Schrader. Costly error after that pit stop under green for the Schrader crew as they settle down and get back with the program. For the moment, Labonte has the lead. That's Bobby Labonte, the kid that sat on the pole. Former Grand National champion, runner-up a year ago in Grand National. And currently one of the leading rookie candidates. He should be coming in shortly, staying out for the moment. Martin stays second.
Ken, here's the key right here. Look at this thing. This is going to be shakeout and be the lead in just a minute. The 2 is right there with the 6 car. And after these pit stops, this is going to be the battle for the lead.
Michael Waltrip is being shown 4th, Darrell 5th, Elliott 6th, and Dale Jarrett just behind it. Now they're bringing his number down.
Well, Rusty tried to get around him just a minute ago. They both had tremendous pit stops. And I'm telling you, this is going to shake out and be the battle for the lead after the full set of stops is over.
Bobby Labonte has yet to make his pit stop. Therefore, he relegates Martin and Wallace, 6 and 2 respectively, into a battle for second place.
Labonte came around again with that coming in. He's going to stay out a little longer. But he's running, like they said, a second off the pace. The older tires are a second slower. Even though he's leading the race, he's given up valuable distance on that track. We haven't had these guys paired yet. At one time, Rusty was leading, the 6 hadn't got there yet. This is really the first chance we've had to put them back to back and bumper to bumper to see who can fight it out for the lead.
Neil, how do you feel when you're sitting there on pit road? It's a green flag stop. You've got a good crew, but you know that a second counts for so much in this form of racing.
Again, people won't believe how busy you are when you pit. We sit here and watch them come in. They jack the car. Well, the driver comes in. He's got a specific spot he parks the car on. He can't miss it 6 inches. He gets the car in neutral. He puts the clutch in. He's got his foot on the brake and the toe of his foot on the throttle, his heel on the brake. He's getting in first gear. His cue when they drop that jack is to leave. So even though it seems like a long time, the driver's pretty busy. The only time you notice a difference is when they have a problem and you sit there for a long time. But it's awful tricky to sit there and watch those guys just drive away from you when you're sitting on the jack.
Give you ulcers?
Yeah, and you know the guys are doing the best they can out there. They're doing everything they can in those pits to get you out. And just sometimes they hit a perfect stop and sometimes it's a problem. The key is just to get consistent stops, and that's what Rusty and the 6 car are doing.
In the battle for second spot, Gant going another lap down. He's running back in 15th spot, and they're about to close up on Jeff Purvis. Waiting for this confrontation to really get nailed down between these two guys who at the moment stay in second spot to Bobby Labonte out in front, and still Labonte has yet to come in. They're still showing him as the leader. And there he is. And there you see Jeff Purvis in the 4, and he may be getting ready to come in. Here come the leaders by him, trying to find a hole.
Bobby Labonte is trying to get in. Just as the 2-100 came over like he's talking about, boy, they almost had a wreck in the corner.
And we saw one there a moment ago. We saw Wallace earlier just throw that car in turn 4. He had twisted it sideways. Dick Berggren waiting on young Bobby Labonte.
This crew has been waiting on Bobby Labonte, Duke and Squire. They have been on the edge of the seats on pit road waiting for Labonte to come in. Labonte now in. What a crop of rookies this year. This kid has shown everybody a lot in the last several weeks. Tim Brewer, the crew chief, on the left front. He's been with lots of winning teams, and he is soldiering these guys forward today. A lot more than a pole being shown by this young team this evening. 22.7 for their pit stop. Not a great one, but they got it done.
First pole for a rookie this year was pulled by Bobby Labonte for this race. If you're just joining us, we're now at lap 260 of 400 to be run. As Bobby comes back into the race, we've got a squabble up in front. It's the one we've been waiting for. Here's the Ford, number 6, Mark Martin, and the Pontiac of Rusty Wallace squaring off for another round.
And that little bit of hesitation getting into pits gave Mark Martin a little bit of breathing room, and he got away from Rusty. But now the 6 is in some traffic, so Rusty's got the chance to close in again.
There's Hensley down low in the 7, Jeff Purvis in the Morgan McClure car. Now further back, there you see Rick Maston. Right behind him, it's the 5. Rick Maston's in 7. Ricky Rudd in that 5 car is in 8. Gordon, number 24, in 9th. Back and riding again with Mark Martin as he tries to get around Jeff Purvis. How close is what we watch on television to what you see behind the wheel, Mark Martin?
No, not really. It's a lot better than nothing, but it's still a lot different when you're getting all the sensations in the seat. What are the sensations we're missing? The slide of the car. You know, the G-forces, the slide of the car. Are you all the time sliding in the corners? My car is.
Okay, people, let me tell you what. When I tell you to lean to the right as he goes in this corner, I'll show you what it feels like. It's just a matter of what Mark's talking about. You pull so many G's in the corner. See that head brace up there on the side of his helmet where it says power oil? Right there it goes in, and his helmet is actually flexing that piece of aluminum over. He's pressed in that right seat. The car is actually squirming around under it. He'll go in and put the car in the place he wants it, and it'll slide over about a foot. So you just every lap calculate on how much slippage there is on those wheels. And when he says that, I mean the car does not track in the lines you put it. It's always trying to slip out from under you.
And it always looks so solid when you see these pictures.
Well, because the guys know how to slip it and not let the thing get out from under them. It's kind of controlled drift all the time.
Battle continuing. Ford versus Pontiac. Mark Martin going for 5 in a row. Can he do it? We'll see. 271 laps complete of 400 in the Miller Genuine Draft 400. Coming to you live on TBS from Richmond International Raceway. And look who's in front. Car 2. Like a Black Panther. It was couching, ready to pounce. And look at this move. There's Purvis up on the outside of the 4 car.
Comes in there, and the 2 cars kind of boxed in behind Purvis. Right here, the 6 and the 2 are racing for the lead. Now watch Rusty. He gets a good run up off this corner. He's going to follow the 4 down the back straightaway. Got him boxed in, but watch this, get out of the box. Now he's going to go under this car, but this pass is not over. He comes in behind the 30, then he moved right outside and took the lead.
Nice piece of driving has put Rusty Wallace in a place to win his 3rd Miller 400 here at Richmond International Raceway. He, for the moment, is the leader. Mark Martin has fallen to 2nd spot. Incidentally, Bobby Labonte, who led for some time as they came in that green flag pit situation, he went from 1st back to 16. 10 cars remain in the lead lap. So now the situation is Wallace in front. And it's Martin in 2nd. Take a look at the race story here. Ernie Irvan got out to the lead. Then it was Bobby Labonte. Rusty Wallace had an early shot at commanding the race. We had our first caution at lap number 59. That was when the 28 blew up, Ernie Irvan. Wallace has been up there at the caution at lap 82. That was when the 12 car crashed. The Autolite race story showing you Waldrop getting a chance at it, then Martin dominating for a while out there. 3rd caution of the day came at lap 133. We had a 2-car jam session. Rick Wilson beaten up, and Todd Bodine's car up here in turn 3. Here you see the 26 and 42 as you're watching this Autolite breakdown on the event, giving you an idea of how it's come to pass. We're at lap 277 now, and the last 10 laps have been at car number 2. And there's a great story in this number 2. They called him for doing a little short braking out there on the start. That was the NASCAR call. They brought him in, penalized him, put him on the tail end of the field. He was about 25 car lengths from getting lapped, circulated around, fought his way through. And there's Rick Wilson, snubbed up that 44 considerably.
Kenny, we've got Randy Pemberton down in the pits, in the 2 pits. Let's see what they think about what's been happening.
Well, I can tell you guys, you talk about 25 car lengths from being lapped for Rusty. Look who's about 12 car lengths from getting lapped by Rusty. It's Dale Earnhardt. Buddy Parrott, Rusty Wallace's crew chief, came over and said, go get him. Put him a lap down. They're talking championship points here, guys. If Earnhardt's running 10th, he's on the lead lap, but all the way through 17th, from 11th to 17th, those cars are 1 lap down. They want to put him in that group. It's all a bunch of points, man. He's racing to win, but he's also racing for that championship.
Remember that Earnhardt leads in the points by that 304. It's Rusty Wallace in 2nd, and Mark Martin very close, just 3 points behind him in 3rd, followed by Dale Jarrett and Morgan Shepherd in the top 5. Then Kyle Petty, Schrader, Irvin, Jeff Bodine, and Jeff Gordon rounding out the top 10. So Earnhardt working on him pretty hard now to get him a lap down.
Yeah, if they can get him a lap down in the caution. Right now, if the caution comes out, Earnhardt is almost assured of being in 10th because he's the last guy on the lead lap. If they get him this lap down, the caution comes out, he's got 6 more cars he's got to fight all night long to hold that position. So it's critical for Rusty to get up there and do that.
Oh, look at this skirmish. There's the 5 car down to the bottom underneath the 26. Fighting for 5th. Ricky Rudd is there. Brett Bodine on the outside. At 282, this struggle going on.
See Rudd trying his best to get up around that 26 car, but you get 2 cars evenly matched like this, it's hard to make that pass. They've raced hard all night long together. Every time we look up, these 2 cars are together.
Look at Jeff Gordon right there in 7th. Kyle Petty's right behind him in 8th.
We saw Petty earlier in the night right up front in 2nd place. Looked like he had something for the leaders. And I think they've changed around a little bit. He's off the pace a little bit.
Kyle Petty's in 8th. The 9th car is Terry Labonte, the Kellogg's car. And then in 10th is Earnhardt. He was the last car in that lead lap.
Not only is Rusty trying to run Earnhardt down, he's put about a quarter of straightaway on the 6 car, which really surprises me.
There you see Earnhardt.
Got Ken Schrader in between the 2 car. But while this is going on, while Rusty's making this charge to get Earnhardt down, well, I tell you, he's really pulling away from the 6 car.
Schrader back in 17th position, getting lapped by Rusty Wallace, defending champion. Goes down a lap. Ooh. Wallace having a little trouble getting through there. Schrader making a good move.
Ken, we just got a call from the pits on Rusty's radio. They say they just got a bad set of tires, and it's the slowest he's run all night.
And look at this struggle continue. There you see Rudd in the 5, and Brett Bodine at it again, and give 5th place back to Ricky Rudd. Ricky Rudd back around Brett Bodine, and Jeff Gordon looks him over. Remember, Jeff Gordon is 10th in the standings at the present time. Struggle for 5th place. It's a 4-way deal. Wallace staying first, but a report, Neil Bonnet passing on, that he's got a bad set of tires.
That was Mark Martin. They say Mark Martin's got a bad set.
Martin's got a bad set of tires.
And he's dropping off the pace a little bit.
You're on board with Mark Martin. Oh, it's a bad time to have that happen. Trying to win that 5th in a row. Remember when Gant Neal was going, he won 4 in a row, was going 5, and he was, he was less than 10 laps from 5 in a row back in '91 when he lost his brakes, and Earnhardt passed him for the win. What was North Wilkesboro, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was North Wilkesboro, but let me tell you, they were so good with that cambered rear deal, he almost won the race anyway with no brakes. He led it for a long time without brakes, and then he ended up right until he followed that and won the race. So you get an edge, you've got something on these folks.
I couldn't believe how well Gant drove that race. I sat home and watched it on the TV, and it was incredible because you knew he'd run out of brakes. They were reporting that, and he just
kept
never missed
the
a
race.
lick.
Never missed a beat.
No.
Just as long as nobody stops in front of you, all right. But that's a terrible feeling right along and nothing on that pedal.
But you see that, remember, that's how they said Petty became the great driver that he was, is because in the old days, didn't have the kind of braking systems you had now, and you're always out of brakes.
I couldn't have stood a whole lot of that. I always liked to be there if I needed it or not.
So Wallace is first, Martin is second, and Martin is backing up because he has a set of tires that haven't matched up. We'll take a quick commercial break and be back with you once again. SeaWorld Shamu up there, keeping an eye on this one at Richmond International Raceway.
The Miller Genuine Draft 400 is brought to you by Burger King, where you can always get it your way, right away. I love this place.
300 laps will be complete this time by, and that means there's just 75 miles to go, 100 laps to finish it. And here at Richmond International Raceway, TBS pleased to bring you the Miller 400 tonight. You're watching live as Rusty Wallace is now leading Mark Martin. Martin had built up a lead that seemed insurmountable. He seemed bulletproof. But for the moment, the interval between Martin in second place and this man, Rusty Wallace, stands at 3 3/10 of a second. Oh, we got a spinner in turn number 2. One car all the way around at Sterling Marlin. He's trying to gather it back up. Caution is out. He's still trying to get it fired. Everybody getting around him. Racing back to the line comes Rusty Wallace, the leader. Earnhardt has not gone a lap down. Wallace was trying desperately to do that to him. Didn't happen.
I tell you who's looking for this caution is is the 6 car Mark Martin. I made the call wrong earlier. Martin is the one that said he needed different tires.
Let's take a look and replay at what happened out here in turn 2.
We see the 8 car, Sterling Marlin there. Oh, the 26 is coming up there. It gets together. 26 tapped him in the rear just a little bit. These two guys were able to go around. The 8 backs up right up almost in the groove. We see there goes Labonte by Kyle Petty.
And he is in the groove. They're coming either side of him now. He's all the way up there. Boy, it got scary because he stayed out there for a while. Now Sterling Marlin, that won't bother him. He'll just fire it up and get back in here. Flat spotted some tires. There's the leader in. Let's go to Dick Berkman.
Rusty Wallace team really didn't want this pit stop, Ken Squire. The car was running absolutely perfectly. Rusty Wallace radioed back, don't change anything, give me the same tires that I have got. We had been also listening to Roger Penske, who has been telling him, run down low, go get him. You know who him is.
Randy.
Mark Martin is in on the left-hand side. There was reports they're going to go with about 1.5 rounds of wedge out. Mark had a little bit of a push. They probably adjusted the air pressure. Maybe not. I never saw a wedge wrench go in at all, so I did not see any wedge taken out of that car.
I'm I'm not believing this. They changed 4 tires on the Rusty Wallace car and put him out in 16 seconds.
16.6. That's about as quick as you'll ever see 4 tires go.
17.
Oh yeah, it really slowed her down. But you know, 19 seconds used to be the gauge. 16's unbelievable.
Rest of the field coming in. We're under caution. They have the Sterling Marlin car fired. We'll be getting ready to run again in just a few moments. Stay with us. Coming around to restart the race at lap 307. Wallace is first, Waltrip second, Elliott third, Martin fourth, Ricky Rudd fifth, Gordon is sixth, Kyle Petty seventh. It's Brett Bodine in eighth, Earnhardt is ninth, Terry Labonte is in 10th. 1 lap down in 11th is Gant, 12th is Bobby Labonte, Rick Mast is 13th, Schrader is 14th, 2 laps down, Strickland in 15th as they take 3. Another good pit stop by the Waltrip crew, and a brilliant pit stop by the Penske organization. They really have that team stitched up for them.
You know, that restart, they black flagged the 21 into 1, I think they said it was, for passing on the inside on the restart, so some of those guys will be coming in.
Wallace has led 110 308 laps so far.
That's a 22 into 1, Ken. They called both of those guys. Labonte had a good run going, and they passed on the inside. They're going to bring him in.
Numbers up on the board for 22. You see Gant, that lap car, in 11th spot down on the bottom, trying to fight his way back into this thing. Mark Martin on board the 4th place car down the main chute.
What's going to be interesting with this to see if this set of tires works as well as all of his other ones had. The last hit cost him some distance.
Derek Cope in heavy traffic now. Martin has led 154 laps tonight. Derek Cope with Bobby Hillman up on the outside. Up the front of his car. He's up on that outside line. Side by side, 2nd place. It's Elliott on the outside. Waltrip down low. Here comes Martin into it. Back straight away. On board with Mark Martin as he looks over at Bill Elliott. Martin now 3rd. Closing in on Bill Elliott 2nd. Pontiac 1st. Ford's running 2nd and 3rd. Chevrolet, Waltrip back to 4th. Earnhardt in turn 2. In a little trouble as he came out of there and started on the back straightaway. And he's coming down on the pit road.
That's the one. That's the one coming down pit
Rick
road.
Mast. Rick Mast in the 1 car comes on the pit road.
Yeah, the 22 honored the black flag. He came in, and he's been back out.
Mast in car number 1, in and out of that stop and go. Earnhardt is okay, continuing out there. In 10th spot, in the lead lap, holding on. Look at the struggle for 2nd position. Elliott there, Martin trying to take it away.
And while this is going on, Rusty Wallace has got clear sailing out front. He's getting a little bit of distance on these guys while they're doing this running. We'll see Mark close it down, getting in that corner.
Randy Pemberton is in the Mark Martin pits. Let's get a report.
Steve Neal had a bad set of tires last time. Did you make any other adjustments, and can you catch Rusty?
We changed the tire pressure around, and these radial tires react to that real good. Right now, we got to get by the 11. There's a bunch of good cars behind us. Rusty's real stout. He's got clear track. He's probably got an advantage right now, but we'll have to wait and see.
Okay, good luck. Dick Berggren?
Well, Buddy Parrott, how do you play it from here?
Well, I just hope this thing goes green. We got a good car on long runs. I just hope we don't have to go another one of those. Greg Wallace just timed us at a 16:68 that last pit stop, and I hope we don't have to do that to him one more time. I would like to say that I'd like to wish my mother-in-law and father-in-law happy anniversary.
Look at this fight. 2nd spot. There you see that 11 of Bill Elliott, and right with him comes Martin again in this struggle for 2nd position. You're riding with Mark Martin as he tries to take a spot away from Bill Elliott, a 39-time Winston Cup winner.
Well, this is a good run for Elliott.
Just in front of them, you see Bobby Labonte's number 22. pole. He's back in 13th, a lap down from the leaders.
Yeah, that deal, they just black flagged him, and it cost him. He came in, he came right back out. There's Junior Johnson watching Elliott. Best run they've had in a long time.
Will that string be broken tonight? Number 6, Martin, just joining us, has won 4 Winston Cup races in a row. Here's a battle between 4th and 5th. Waltrip has it for the moment, right in number 5. Down on the bottom, trying to take it away. In all, the last 7 races, 3 Grand National and 4 Winston Cup events that Mark Martin has participated in, he's come home the winner. But in Winston Cup racing, nobody since 1971 has won 5 in a row, and that's what Martin is attempting to do tonight. But to convert second place into victory looks like a toughie now with 320 laps complete, 80 to go. And Rusty Wallace, who came from almost a lap down, made it up. And he's scratching, biting, fighting his way around turn number 4 out in front. Has himself an advantage of about 12 car lengths.
Yeah, this right here with the 6-car battling with Bill Elliott. Both of these guys will run each other really hard, and Rusty just sitting out there cruising away. So it's going to, if he gets much distance on it, it's going to be hard for him to make it up.
321 complete. This is the battle for the moment. It continues between Bill Elliott and Mark Martin as Rusty Wallace continues on his way toward a 3rd victory here. We'll see.
Only about 70 laps to go on a Saturday night at Richmond International Raceway, and Rusty Wallace trying to make it 2 straight here in Richmond in the Miller Genuine Draft 400. Wallace has had to fight hard all evening. Mark Martin had a dominant car earlier, but Wallace has been setting the pace here the last many laps, and it looks like he may have this one, well, not quite in the bag yet, but getting close to that point. Our upcoming event as we check the Sears Craftsman race schedule for you tonight at the SDP Pit Center on TBS will be at Charlotte the weekend of October 9th and 10th. Winston Cup action on Sunday, the Mellow Yellow 500. Hope you can join us at 1 o'clock in the afternoon from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. We'll be here live on TBS. Want to show you something. You don't think these race cars hit the wall hard? This is a brake rotor that was on the Morgan Shepherd car. Remember the first caution tonight much earlier? Shepherd popped the wall in the second corner. This isn't what caused it. This is the result from it. This is a steel brake rotor. This is the aluminum hub. The brake rotor chunked badly when Morgan hit the wall. It took him a long time. They fixed the car. He's back on the racetrack, but that's a $100 piece that was trashed in that crash, gentlemen.
Boy, I'd like to buy me one of those for $100. I got to start buying for Rick Benjamin. That's a good price for that thing. And look, coming here, looks like Earnhardt has picked it up just a little bit. He got around Waltrip. He was 10th a while ago. He's up to 7th place, so he's starting to move up a little bit. The leaders are checking out up there.
How much can you buy those rotors for these days?
The rotor's about 100 and the hat's about 50. The aluminum hat or 75. So, but I mean, after a race like this, it's pretty well used up. Kind of like throwaways. You could put a regular brake pad on them, and they won't stop good. You put a metal pad, it stops good, but it wears the rotor out in a hurry.
Earnhardt's the man on the move for the moment. Finds himself in 7th. Tell you, the guy that's backed up has been Waltrip. Darrell is back into 9th in that car 17.
Ken, I almost question, you know, he came in way back and he came out in 2nd place. I'm not sure they might have tried a 2-tire stop. I didn't see the stop, but they really moved up, and it looks like he's falling off, so something happened.
See Brett Bodine right there in 10th, trying to get by him right now. Jimmy Means down on the inside. No sponsorship on the Means car. We'll find something soon. Here's Waltrip in the 17. Brett Bodine coming after him. Schrader running a lap down. Actually, 2 laps down, is in 14th. And here comes Brett Bodine again to the inside in that Quaker State car. Works it down to the bottom and closes in on Darrell Waltrip. Battle for 9th. Wallace still out in front. Elliott 2nd, Martin 3rd. For the moment, this is the battle. 325 laps complete. By correction, 335 laps complete.
Walton is still having a little trouble going on back further. He either got a mismatched set of tires or he went for two because something's really dropped him off.
Let's go back up front. Here's Dick Berggren.
Interesting story on the lead car, Ken Squire. They're calling it a brand new race car, and in most ways it really is. It's got a new front clip, new body, new back end. This is the first race it's run like that. But the very center of the car, the roll cage, that was the very first roll cage they ever built when Roger Penske came to Winston Cup Racing with Rusty Wallace. That roll cage with a front clip and back clip had all sat in the shop for a long while, years. They were going to restore it, make a museum piece out of it. Rusty said, that's kind of nice. Let's make a race car out of it. Well, I bet he likes that roll cage even better now because they are pulling away from second place.
Some museum piece. Look at this battle for second spot. Martin is there, a couple of Fords whipping on each other here. They're 2 3/10 of a second down. 2.3 away from the leader.
If Rusty's got a mirror in his roll cage, he's glad to see this right here. The more these guys race back here, the further he's going to get away from them. They're going to have, one of them's going to have to make a quick pass and get back in line and go, and Rusty's going to stretch it out even more.
Martin tried to square that first turn, and you saw that car take an extra bite to get around there, and that gave the advantage back for a moment to Elliott. Right back comes Martin again on the bottom side.
Hard on the inside. Early in the race, this car was capable of just passing anyone. Like now, he really drove the car down hard in the corner.
And you're dead on. It was 2 3/10 of a second between the first and these two squared off for second. Now it's down to back to 2.7. Not down, but back.
Yeah, Ken, they're losing almost a half a second a lap by running each other hard here. But I mean, they're racing for second place. First thing you got to do is beat this guy, then worry about the next one.
So for the moment, Elliott has that position back. He's the second, Martin the third, Russ the fourth. We were talking about Darrell Waltrip and his trials and tribulations. Let's find out what the story is on car 17. Dick Berggren.
Well, guys, we're here on the Mark Martin pit. You can see behind me this crew member is adjusting the tire pressure in Mark's cars. This was the problem with Darrell Waltrip. They were trying to adjust his tire pressure to get so he could run with Rusty and run with Mark. Now, Mark's having a little problem with his pressure. They're going to change it. The problem with Darrell's was he put the pressure up, or the crew did, a little bit too high on the right side, and they're just having a dickens of a time with it right now. So a little tire pressure problem for them. They do everything with tire pressure now because they can't change springs, and it's very difficult to adjust these cars with wedge now. So a lot with tire pressures with these Goodyear tires.
Hold the phone, Randy. Here comes Ricky Rudd. Rudd up to third. Martin falls to fourth. Ricky Rudd has gathered it up. And the lad from Chesapeake, Virginia. This is his hometown track. He's going for it right now.
They ran those cars that hard, the 6 and the 11. They really abused them. Here comes Rudd. He's going to take advantage of that. He jumped on him, got around the 6, and he's going after 11 car. This Rudd in third place.
345 laps are complete. Wallace first, Elliott second, Rudd now third. It's Martin in fourth, Gordon in fifth, Earnhardt in sixth, Terry Labonte in seventh, Kyle Petty in eighth, Brett Bodine in ninth, and Darrell Waltrip on the tail end of the lead lap.
Ken, we keep hearing talk about tire pressure, tire pressure. What that tire pressure does is actually changes spring rate, the sidewall of the tire. They use that for a spring, the softness or the hardness of the air pressure lets that tire work as a spring, and they're playing around with it a lot. You either hit on it or, boy, you're out in left field, and some guys are backing up.
Well, definitely not backing up. Rudd. Here he comes after Bill Elliott. For second spot. And the advantage in favor of Wallace is better than 3.5 seconds now. All this skirmish back here in second spot that we saw between 11 and 6, now 11 and 5, taking its toll on trying to collect that leader, Rusty Wallace.
Yeah, this is when Rusty and his crew are saying no cautions, no cautions. They'd like to see this thing go green. Cautions change the whole complexion of this thing.
Well, back in June, we saw Ricky Rudd victorious at Michigan. And now he's beginning to show some strength, and he's got time to do it. There'll be 50 laps remaining in just a couple. Rusty Wallace is very into his own chassis on that car, too. Listen to this.
I'm really major big time into the chassis. That's been something I did my whole life. I feel like if you're going to be a consistent driver, not a driver that hits 1 week and then runs crappy for 3 or 4 weeks after that, you got to be a driver that can set the cars up and understand the chassis completely, so you can be a consistent driver. And I really love working with the chassis part of it.
Ken, I can't help but think that goes back to those ASA days, those little short tracks running around all over the country when you didn't have the luxury of having 40 mechanics fixing your car. Rusty built his own cars and fixed them.
Take a look at what we're fixing to see right here. The car 5, Ricky Rudd, comes to the inside on Bill Elliott. Chevy on the bottom, Ford on the outside as you watch it live here on TBS from Richmond International Raceway. Slugfest for second spot, main straightaway. Over 150 miles an hour. They carry that speed into turn 1 and up on the lap car of Derek Cope. Bill Elliott. Oh, he just taps the back end of 98. Look out. Hard hit. Caution is out for the Bojangles car. Took a shot coming off number 2, and you saw the result. Caution is down. That's the 4th time tonight that yellow has flown. Take that back. That's the 5th time tonight that we've seen the yellow out. You saw that one happen.
You talk about mixed emotions. Rusty says, oh no. Mark Martin and the rest of the guys say, man, do we need this. We'll see what happens when they get out of these pit stops.
Lap 352 is when it happened. What happened? This is what happened.
They go down in the corner here. Rudd was racing with 11 car. He's trying to get up there with Elliott. Gets in the throttle. Wham! Right in the back end of Derek Cope, and around he goes. Around for a ride.
Ooh. Leaders on pit road. Wallace is in. Elliott, Rudd, Martin, Gordon, Earnhardt, all the leaders in.
They said they didn't want to have to put that 16-second one on Ken. Let's see if they can do it right here. They just said a while ago, we hate to have to show them we can do it again. If they do it again, they'll be leading this race.
Tell us again how much those tires cost every time you change 4.
They're about $1,200 a set. Looks like Mark Martin's having some trouble with his left front.
Randy's there.
Well, they are having a little trouble with the left front. They went up 2 pounds all the way around, or at least on the right side. Steve Neal, 3 rounds of wedge out of the car. They're going to try and loosen the thing up. Let Mark
bad crash, and it's Ricky Rudd getting spun. He got hit coming out of the pits.
Like Rudd and Earnhardt got together as they came out of pit road.
Gathers it up and continues.
That stop a while ago, Rusty Wallace was 17.6. Before it was 16.6, so still at that, it's a tremendous stop. Damage right to the left rear.
See, the thing really got dinged. Let's take another look.
Okay, here's Elliott leaving the pits. Here comes Rudd out. Here comes Earnhardt out. Boy, the hit right there at the end of pit road. Rudd goes around. Earnhardt goes on out.
Gets dinged just behind the driver's door. Rudd coming around to get back in again.
Okay, there's Earnhardt up there beside Rusty Wallace. I'm sure he's asking Rusty, take a look at that right front. Let me know what that thing looks like. Earnhardt got hit on the right front when he made that contact, and somebody like Rusty, he'll look over and say, hey, you need to go in the pits and get that thing fixed or you're okay.
Not much of a birthday present for Ricky Rudd, who turns 37 tomorrow. There you see the damage on Ricky Rudd's car number 5, just back there in that lower panel behind the door.
Steve wiggled that car real hard, Ken. What he's wanting to see if it sets down. It looked to me as though when he wiggled it, that quarter panel set down on the top of that tire. If that's the case, that thing will wear the top of the tire, wear a hole in it. He's not careful. They got to make the choice. Do we come in and correct that problem or see if we can live with it? He's doing that where the crew can take a look as he goes down, see if it bottoms out on that tire.
Crew looking on to see if they should bring him in or not. How about that 3 car? Did that take any damage?
Took a pretty good lick on the right front. Might have done the toe in or toe out damage on it.
I think he may pit. I think he may see Earnhardt in this time. Wrong. Staying out there.
Let's take a look at the right front on Earnhardt so we can see that's the area that hit on his car. Looked like most of the lick was on the tire itself.
No, just right up there.
Right in front of the fender a little bit. The question is the toe out. Is that off when they take a look like that on the steering components? Looks like maybe both of them just have body damage. The spotters on top of the pit road, they're looking at TV. They want to see themselves if that right front's rubbing.
Yeah, that's right. They're saying, we don't want to see ourselves. We want to see that race car. Get that thing out of there.
I'm sure the crews are hollering, put the camera back on the right front so we can see what we got.
Well, this is happening in lap 356. We're under caution. Rudd collected Derek Cope. Sent him spinning out of turn number 2. Brought out the 5th caution. Let's go to Randy Pemberton.
As soon as he comes through here. Well, Richard Childers, Andy Petrie, all the guys, they're watching the monitor. They'd like a nice tight shot of the right front if we could. We've done it for other teams before. It's television. They're trying to figure out if that right front is rubbing. It was difficult. They're saying it's close. It's like a huddle. They said break. We'll take a look. I think they're going to let him go. They're going to leave it like it is.
I tell you what, you rely, just like when he pulled up to Rusty and was asking him, was that right front rubbing? Looks like they decided to go with it. Rudd could question blown the left rear of his, so both of them are going to take the chance and see if they can go. This late in the race, you got to gamble, I guess.
Watching that wireless Motor Week television down there, getting that shot. Those folks were getting a good look at what that number 3 looked like. I guess they're going to leave him out. Indeed, Neil, that seems to be the story as they get organized. Pace cars coming in at lap 358. We go green. Down for a start. On the break, Wallace first, Elliott second, Earnhardt third, Gordon fourth, Martin is fifth, Kyle Petty sixth, Brett Bodine seventh, Waltrip eighth, Terry Labonte in ninth, Ricky Rudd out back. Top 10. Wallace trying to get away. After him comes Elliott. Elliott fades a bit high. Rick Mast back in 13th down the inside. Elliott best this year. He had a third up at Pocono in July. And of course, he won the last race of the 1992 season at Atlanta, take place in November. Always a good one.
Boy, Elliott staying right there with Rusty. Seems to stay right with him.
Question is Martin. Martin is sandwiched back behind Hutch Strickland, the 27th car, who was running 15th. But here's the struggle, and it's for the lead. Bill Elliott, who has not tasted a victory since that last race of '92, working on the back end. And now all of a sudden, Jeff Gordon slows down dramatically. Gordon coming down in 5th spot. Drops all the way back through traffic onto the rear. Something to miss there.
I think what happened, Kenny, just got shoved outside, slid out to the outside of the wall.
So the battle continues up in front. 361 complete. We'll be back with more of it in a moment between Wallace and Elliott for the moment at Richmond. Battle for the lead. 3-car struggle. Wallace first, Elliott second, Earnhardt third. Laps 368 have been completed. At Richmond International Raceway, defending champion of this event, Rusty Wallace, for the moment has the lead. Bill Elliott is there, knocking on the door. Darrell Waltrip has just faded back dramatically, came up in the corner, and the car just slid back, well back. Randy? You tell us what happened there.
Well, the deal was right before what you're looking at here. He got a little into, I think it was Brett Bodine, so he got a little popped, and it was the same thing with Jeff Gordon. You got to remember, we're 30 laps from the finish of this race, and these guys are going at it. That's all there is to it. So they got together a little bit. Darrell shot up the track.
Waltrip's being shown in 10th spot. We're back with you live, and we're watching Put a Lap on Bobby Hill, and up in front. Here you see Wallace still deployed first. Elliott second and perched in third. It's Dale Earnhardt. Earnhardt is back and looking really strong. Wonder if we can get a word with Johnny Hayes. I understand he was down there just before the race when they were making final preparations on that Junior Johnson car number 11. And I think it's a remarkable story, Neil. John, are you there? Johnny Hayes?
Yes, Ken, I'm here.
What was the story with Junior just before this thing started tonight?
Well, I was visiting with Junior, congratulating him about his new baby. All of a sudden, Mike Beam walked in and he said, listen, the car will not turn in the corners. Bill's not happy with it. Let me tell you what I want you to do to that car. He exactly described what he wanted to do with that car, down to the number of shims he wanted taken out, the whole thing. And Mike said, hey, we won't even have a chance to practice. He said, do what I tell you. It'll loosen this car up. Proves to me Junior Johnson is still the man.
Yeah, and you can see how excited he's over. He's propped up, got one foot up in his hand in his pocket. Never gets too excited.
Up there, it's one of the best performances that they had this year. Just a length and a half off Rusty Wallace down the back straightaway. 374 coming around for 25 to go. 3 of Rusty Wallace's 5 1993 wins have come on short tracks.
Again, in that shot right there, you can see the 6th car, Mark Martin. We haven't forgot about him. He's back there 4th. You see Mark, he's 4th. That's Gant in between him there. There's the 2, Rusty Wallace, Bill Elliott. There's Earnhardt, and then there's Harry Gant in between them. Here's Mark Martin. He's got Gant in between him and Earnhardt. But I thought he would really be able to close in on this restart, but he's still struggling just at least a little bit. He's not back like he was in the first 2 weeks.
4th place is Martin. You're riding with it right there. Meanwhile, Elliott continues to put the pressure on. The leaders hustle down into turn number 3. Martin's within striking distance. Bobby Hillin giving a V-shot from further back in the field. Hillin being shown, excuse me, Neil, but he's in 24th position with these pictures.
You know, right there, Elliott really closed in on Martin earlier, and then Earnhardt got after Elliott pretty hard, lost some distance, but it looks like Elliott's able to come right back up on Rusty again now. It's going to make him work for it.
Don't want you to forget, we'll be back with you at Charlotte, North Carolina. Saturday, that great Busch Grand National competition, and Sunday, October the 10th, 500 at Charlotte. Mellow yellow race, always a dandy at Charlotte Motor Speedway on the 1.5 miles. Love that racetrack. And this Richmond track, my how it grows. Year after year, they just keep putting the money right back into it and improving it. Had a big golf course event this week, raised thousands of dollars for charities here in Enrico County. Now tonight, as we mentioned earlier, every seat was sold out in April. The only question is how many more seats can they add for next year to take care of the people that want to be here.
Yeah, they might be sold out, but nobody's using them. Everybody in the grandstands on their feet right now with Elliott a chance to get after Rusty Wallace for the lead.
Rick Mast in that number 1 car is a lap down. He's being shown in 12th. The battle is right here. Ricky Rudd is in 6th. Just in front of him is Kyle Petty. Just behind him is Brett Bodine. Ricky Rudd, who was a real factor, then got spun on pit road. After he had collected Derek Cope out of turn 2. From Richmond Raceway, great aerial shots being provided by Ray Bestis. We've got a crash, a strong one in the main straightaway. 384 laps complete, so we're down to the final moments, the dregs of it, but they're pretty interesting ones tonight. There has been a caution. There was an incident in the main straightaway. You're riding with Bobby Hillin. He's coming down the main straightaway, and there you see the car of Dick Trickle getting loose, the pedigree dog food car. Here's Hillin after that 38 spun coming off 4, and they just barely touched right there. And now they're back out again.
They're giving 1 to go, Ken. Only 2 cars pitted on that caution, Labonte and Darrell Waltrip. The guys on the lead lap, there were just 2 of them that pitted.
So now there are 15 laps to go. Car of Hillin, the 90 car, which was the onboard camera car, and Trickle were in contact for a moment down here. Yellow was thrown. It's been out for 3-4 laps now. And at lap 386, they'll turn them loose.
Ken, something that's going to be a problem right here. You see these cars on the inside, the guys that were lapped down, they put fresh tires on. They didn't have anything to lose. Now they're going to be quicker than the leaders.
Remember,
so they're going to be possibly in the way, not in the way, but they're going to be quick as the leaders are quicker.
Atlanta and San Diego tied in the bottom of the second. Don't forget, you're going to see the last game of that series tomorrow, 4 o'clock Eastern, here on TBS. We're underway. Final moments. Oh! car getting spun in front of the field. Big crash. That coming out of turn number 2. 1, 2, 3 cars collected. Hillen is all smashed up in the front end. The Heilig-Myers car, they're coming back to caution. Well, it was what Neil called. Those cars on the inside had the bite, they had the rubber. As you ride here with car number 90 and take a look at what happened to the Junie Donlevy car. Donlevy, a legend in this part of the country, been building cars for almost half a century, 43 years. And this one you can write off.
Yeah, Gant was sitting in the racetrack, and I think Hillen come along and got into Gant. Here where we're inside with Bobby Hillen. Yeah, he's okay in the car. He's moving around.
And he's got it fired. Here's Gant's number 33. He got sideways. Remember, he was one of those cars that made that tire change. I think he may have got clipped going in, got it turned sideways. He was in the center of the track and was center punched. Here it is again.
Here they go down in the corner. We see Gant on the inside. Wham, there's Earnhardt. They get in the rear, then gets up into Elliott. And now here comes Gant down off of the racetrack. Let's see where Hillen comes from. The Gant backs up in the track. Oh, Hillen, nowhere to go. Clips you right on the rear back there. So much damage in front of Hillen's car.
Working to get Harry Gant back in this thing in car number 33. Hillen's night is over. The hook is out for him. So now we're at lap 388. I'm sure we're going to get back to green before this one's over as we watch Kyle Petty coming out.
How about a 10-lap heat race on Saturday night? We're fixing to have it for the win.
How about maybe a 5? In-car look at that wreck from Bobby Hillen's vantage point. Ooh, this is going to sting.
Yeah, this is going down in the first turn right here. Went in, and okay, Hillen comes in and just got in the back of the 41 car of Parsons.
He was on the brakes trying to miss what was up in front.
Okay, so he's going to go left. All of a sudden, guess when you come through the smoke? That's all the smoke. All of a sudden, you come out, wham.
Bobby Hillen in his car really took a shot.
Yeah, that'll give you a headache right there, I promise you.
Real time from the in-car. Listen to this.
I remember a few of those. Thank goodness Bobby wasn't hurt. It looked like he might have a nice little headache this afternoon, tomorrow. But no more damage than that, maybe.
So there will be less than 10 laps to go when they get this race restarted. They still have safety crews cleaning up out there in turn number 2. So let's bring you to where we are as they bring in this car number 90. We will have 11 laps remaining. I think it'll be about 9 when we get green. We have Rusty Wallace in the lead, trying to win it for 2 years in a row. It'll be Elliott in second. Earnhardt will be in third. Rudd is closing up on 4th. Then comes Mark Martin in 5th. Gordon in 6th as we get set on the restart. Labonte will be 7th. Darrell Waltrip in 8th. Brett Bodine in 9th. Don't go away. This is going to get interesting. Kyle Petty in 10th. 10 cars in a sprint. A typical Saturday night shootout. Only instead of being the short track cars, it's the best in the business ready to go as you ride down here. Jimmy Hensley taking you down in that cellular phone car on the bottom of the racetrack. Here's Mark Martin getting ready from his vantage point back in 5th spot. The light is off on the pace car. We're ready to go racing. As they take green, there will be 9 laps remaining. Wallace makes a beautiful start. Give him 2 car lengths going into turn number 1. Elliott's right here in second. Earnhardt's in third. Sprinting down the back straightaway.
Well, Rusty got a good jump, but look at Elliott reeling back in.
Locked on the rear bumper. Number 11, Elliott. Pontiac first. Ford second. Chevy third. Standing room only crowd. Standing all the way here in these last few laps. 10 cars in the lead lap. Can Wallace stay there?
Elliott was able to close that gap up. Catching a guy is one thing, but passing him on this side's racetrack when 2 cars are pretty evenly matched, it's going to be tough.
7 to go.
There's Earnhardt closing in on his bumper, Bill Elliott. If these two guys get going at it, Rusty's looking at that mirror and saying, have at it, guys. Y'all race all you want to race. There's Elliott, slid out just a little bit, getting in that corner. Slipped a little bit. There's Earnhardt down the inside. Elliott's car just sparked up off that corner, pulled him way off the corner.
Earnhardt to the bottom, and he's there. And as they struggle back, oh, sideways out of 2 comes Bill Elliott. Picks it up at over 100 miles an hour. Flails it down into turn number 3, stays on the outside.
Boy, this is just what Rusty Wallace wanted.
5 to go.
To go down in the corner side by side. Elliott's car gets a good run up off the corner here every time.
Not giving much ground. Got a crash up in turn number 4, 2.
This could be the race back for second place. You can't get it restarted.
As they come to the line, it will be caution coming out with Wallace across the stripe. Elliott next. Followed by Dale Earnhardt.
I tell you what, the pace car better be fast. He's about to get run over.
Trickle's car down on the bottom. It backed into the wall, and that one got snubbed up considerably.
I'll tell you what, he's got it moving, and you can bet if he gets it off the racetrack, NASCAR will go green in a hurry here to finish this thing on the green. They're calling the safety equipment back in, car gets back in position, so as soon as this 39 car gets around, they'll go green. There's 1 to go this time, so they want this thing to end on the green.
Pace car brings him down by. The Pontiac pace car has that field in tow. It's Wallace, followed by Elliott and Earnhardt and Rudd. 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's going to make it be 3 to go when they come around. No, that's right. There'll be 2 that come by and take it at 8. That's
397 right now. A 2-lap shootout for a $700,000 prize.
Yep, I would say you just kind of do what you got to do this next couple of laps.
And what would you do, sir?
I don't know. You know, we're seeing Rusty so good on the restarts. His car accelerates good on restarts.
Say you were back there in 2nd or 3rd and your old pal Wallace is up in front.
Well, you just got to go. You know, you got to try to run as hard as you can. With 2 laps to go, somebody's going to make a mistake when you be able to get around just about.
All right, 2 to go. Pace car is in. This is it to decide it all. Don't forget, October the 10th, Sunday, from Charlotte, North Carolina. 500 miles of the most competitive automobile racing in the world here on TBS. Wallace is away. Elliott's right there. Earnhardt goes up to the outside. Nice move by Elliott. Earnhardt thought he had a move up there. Bingity bang in the back straightaway. Schrader down on the bottom side, making up some ground. Back comes Earnhardt into the back end of Elliott. White flag is out. 1 to go. Rusty Wallace is there. Martin is back in 5th spot. The string will end at 4. Down the back straightaway. It's Rusty Wallace in front. Elliott making one final stab. It is not enough. Rusty Wallace has done it. He's just won his 27th Winston Cup victory. And he did it really the hard way tonight. Had to make up a lap and come back. And come back he did. Rusty Wallace has done it. The Miller car, the black and gold for Roger Penske's team for the 2nd straight year, has won their race. And a standing ovation from 70,000 for Missouri's Rusty Wallace.
Good go.
Well, I tell you, Mark Martin and the guys, you can't do anything but pat them on the back for the run they've had. Every now and then it has to end. What a run they've had.
A lap of honor for Alan Kowicki, for Davey Allison, who won here. We were back with you in March on this track. Rusty Wallace. Second spot to Elliott, 3rd to Earnhardt, 4th to Rudd, 5th to Martin, 6th to Bodine, 7th to Darrell Walter. It's Rusty Wallace's moment. He'll be pulling into victory lane. We'll have a chat with him in just a moment. After this outstanding run, Rusty Wallace victorious here tonight at Richmond for the second straight year. He's pulled it off in style. 89, 92, and 93, the record book will show that Rusty Wallace of St. Louis, Missouri, was the champion at Richmond International Raceway.
Ken, while going the last lap, there's Earnhardt going over to the truck on that last lap after the caution. I mean, after the checkered flag. Boy, Ken Schrader, let's take a look, see what happened. They're coming off the fourth turn here to start-finish line. And Earnhardt and Schrader get together coming down through here. And this is not the end of it. They go down in the first turn. Ooh, there they go. That's when we had the other action back up on the front straightaway, but they really got together coming down through there. They're pretty good friends. I don't know what happened on that.
Banging on each other a little at the end.
Yeah.
A lot of pressure as we come down to the end of this one. Well, now Rusty Wallace is pulling up into the victory lane area. As we mentioned, now there are 7 races left this year. The pressure is on. Wallace picks up a very few points before this is over. Perhaps 10 was decided tonight. Not that much. We'll try to get a rundown on those points for you in just a moment as Rusty Wallace pulls in. Crew Chief Buddy Parrott done an outstanding job with this car. And it's another good night. There's the 6th win of the season. He had 5 coming into the night. Number 6 is here.
You mean we have to listen to Hayes? He picked him before the race.
Isn't that awful?
But
good for Rusty Wallace.
Yes,
bad
sir.
for us.
Let me tell you, Rusty Wallace ran his guts out tonight to get to the front.
Randy, how about talking with the champion?
Wow, champ, that was something else right there. You're lucky you're up front. It got wild behind you. Great night for you, though.
Thank you very much. It was a good run for the whole crew. And hey, the only thing I hate is that I didn't have a 28 flag in the car with me. But you know, the thought goes out with both of them. I'll tell you that. But I'd like to thank our sponsors, Miller Genuine Draft, Goodyear Tires, Mobile, AC, Pontiac. Everything went good today. Pit crew was really good. Got down a lap early because of a misunderstanding, and they got it back, and everything turned out well.
So let bygones be bygones on that one. I mean, did you jump the start or brake check or anything?
No, not at all. It's just a misunderstanding on their part. They thought I hit the brakes and brake checked them, and I did not do that. But I can understand that people can make a mistake every day now.
It's been a year of streaks, Rusty. You early catching a bunch, and then you break Mark. So he had a chance to set a record here tonight. Didn't do it.
Yeah, Mark ran awful strong. You know, hey, you got to miss a little bit every now and then. And I mean, for that guy to hit it 4 in a row, man, that was great. But it feels good to match my 89 record with 6 wins right now, 2 poles. We led a lot of laps today. This was a brand new car, and it ran real good. So we got a lot of good cars in the shop.
Where was Roger tonight?
Roger's here along with Rick Mears, and they're all up there. This was Rick's first stock car race, and I'm glad I was able to win for him. Real dramatic night for Penske Racing.
Congratulations, Rusty. Nice win. Dick Bergman with Bill Elliott.
And after such a tough season, how does second feel?
Very good. I mean, at least to see the front and be able to kind of race for it and stuff. I hated to see the last 2 cautions come out because I was trying to bide my time and save my tires, and I was watching Rusty and seeing where he was bad and good. But then when the cautions come out, Earnhardt to get a good run at us, and I had to race him a lap or 2 because, you know, my car wouldn't come around right off the bat, and it was just a tough situation there at the end.
26th to second. Is Bill Elliott back?
I hope so. I hope I never left.
How rough were those last few laps?
It was pretty tough because, you know, Earnhardt was fighting for his place, and I was trying to fight for my place, and then Rusty was just trying to drive his line around the racetrack, not mess up. But, you know, we gave it a good, strong run, and, you know, this gives definitely some good momentum for the rest of the year.
It was exactly what this team needed.
Absolutely.
Rusty Wallace led the most laps. Give him those bonus points. He had 203 out here tonight. More of the story here at Richmond in a moment.
Well, the evening's action on the racetrack completed here at Richmond International Raceway. Big victory tonight for Rusty Wallace, who came back from a penalty earlier. Let's check some baseball scores for you. Tomorrow, of course, here on TBS, you'll be seeing the Braves and the Padres at 4 o'clock. Tonight, St. Louis, the Cardinals beat the Giants 3-1, so that puts the Braves another half length out in front. The Braves in action tonight in San Diego. 3 innings complete. No score in that one. We'll keep you posted on the scores tonight before we leave the air from Richmond this evening. Good to have you with us, of course, tonight here at TBS. And again, tomorrow's matchup, the Braves and the Padres, 4 o'clock Eastern time right here on TBS. You'll be able to follow the Braves pennant chase once again tomorrow. Let's take a look at the True Value Hard Charger standings tonight. Of course, True Value pays $5,000 $25,000 per race, $50,000 for the season standings. Mark Martin wins the True Value Hard Charger prize tonight with 1,065 points. Rusty Wallace, who led most of the latter portion of the race, won, gets second in the Hard Charger standings. Darrell Waltrip, Bill Elliott, Kyle Petty rounding out those standings tonight. A great battle, lots of interesting activity on the racetrack. Rusty Wallace, your winner here tonight at Richmond.
Let's talk about points for just a moment here tonight. Earnhardt is still very much in front as we get down to the last 7 races, Neil, with 3,544. But Rusty Wallace took a little bit of a bite out of him tonight, whereas it was 304 points between first and second. Now it's only 284, 3,260 for Wallace, followed by Martin third, Jarrett fourth, and Shepard fifth. So Wallace is going to make it interesting as we get down on October 10th to Charlotte in the last events of the year, closing out in Atlanta.
I guess these guys keep wondering what they're going to do next to catch Earnhardt. They keep winning races, and he keeps staying right there behind him. It's hard to get a gain on him.
Well, you know, something that Rusty Wallace said years ago, he said he always wanted to come off the 4th turn on that final lap with the wheels on fire, and that was really the case tonight. They were on, A, because of the brakes, and B, with 2 laps to go, getting up through gears to come down to finish this thing up.
Yeah, no, you talk about somebody with wheels on fire. We got Ricky Rudd down there, pits. Dick Berkran's with him. Let's go see what happened there.
Well, that was a wild end. What happened there coming out of the pits, Ricky?
Well, yeah, a lot of things happened at once. I guess Dale wasn't looking where he was going and pulled right out of the pits and drove right beside him and knocked that rear wheel alignment out for us. So that was kind of our night right there. But I don't think it was intentional. Harry Gant and I did the same thing the week before, and it's pit crew members dropped the jack. That's our signal to go, and Dale just drove right out in pit road and run into me. But, you know, I wish that we had a chance to race him at the end. The guys were making adjustments to that Tide Chevrolet all night long, and as the race went on, it got a little bit better. And we just hate that we didn't get a chance to get up there and try to race him at the end like we should have. Schrader got in the way there at the end. I think I'd have got by Dale.
What did you have to adjust into the car to make it fast at the end?
Well, I think they just kept playing with air pressure, and they went every different way they could. And finally, the last couple of sets, it got better, and then finally we were looking real good, and then got wrecked on pit road.
Ricky Rudd, where do we go from here? Next year, you're going to be able to do this kind of running with your own team?
Oh, man, I love this. You know, this is what racing's all about. I love Saturday night racing. You know, I think for a while there, everybody's tempers are hot, but, you know, get a chance to get a cool drink of Gatorade and everything cools down. We're ready to go again.
Okay. Randy Pemberton.
Well, Mark Martin sitting here interviewing with some local media as far as MRN Radio. Mark, a good run. There was a time when 6th place would bring a real big smile to your mouth or to your face, but it wasn't a bad run tonight, but it broke your streak.
It'll be all right tomorrow. You know, it was a frustrating night because we checked out on them at one time and got so far ahead that we quit running hard because we were feeling kind of bad because we were beating them that much. And then, you know, man, later on, it was like we couldn't keep up. You know, we did everything we could and tried to adjust the car, and it just slipped away from us.
What is it? The track, it gets rubber, it gets oil, it changes a little bit, I suppose, but what changed it for you?
I don't know. I can't explain it. You know, there's some, you know, we didn't anticipate it. It just happened, and so we dropped back and did our best, and we got caught on that last deal right in the middle where it was hard to decide whether it'd be better to come for tires or not come for tires. If you're further back on the lead lap, you got nothing to lose. We were kind of caught there and just sort of stayed, and that was probably a mistake. Cost us a couple spots.
Did you get worried that those guys took on tires, some of the guys that were a lap down, and they lined up on the inside of you?
I don't think that that was awful. I mean, it was really hard. We almost tore some cars up there when Harry spun and all. It was really hard to race, and there was a lot of pushing and shoving, and Rex looking for a place to happen, but we got through it.
Okay, well, he brought a clean race car home, and he'll go to Dover next week and be tough there.
$49,000 richer tonight is Rusty Wallace after his success at Richmond International Raceway in the Miller Genuine Draft 400. And we'll be back to interview a couple of the other key players in tonight's race after we pause for these messages.
The Miller Genuine Draft 400 is brought to you by Castrol Syntec, the synthetic motor oil that protects in ways other oils can't. By McDonald's, what you want is what you get, guaranteed at McDonald's today. By the new Chevy Camaro, what else would you expect from the country that invented rock and roll? And by smooth Busch Beer and easy drinking Busch Light.
As we take an aerial look at Richmond International Raceway tonight, the fans leaving here, they saw a great battle tonight that went to Rusty Wallace. We're here in the SDP Pit Center tonight with Brett Bodine, the driver of the Quaker State Ford. You got a nice 5th spot tonight.
Yeah, not too bad. You know, we really couldn't hit on anything that would get us up there towards the front and mix it up with the leaders. We hung around there at 6th, 7th, 8th all night long. We finally got some fresh tires on in the end there and made some good moves in that heavy traffic that Mark Martin was speaking of, and got by Mark on the last lap.
This is a typical short track battle on a Saturday night?
Oh, this is great. This is like running back home, you know, the little quarter-mile bull rings, and we brought it all here to Richmond International.
Now, you've had a couple of good runs in recent weeks. What's been changing for your team here?
I think the momentum, it really is coming from the car's mechanical problems that are behind us. We're more competitive. We've got our chassis setups a little better, but the pit crew's just doing a tremendous job. Those guys have been working real hard. We're in those sub 18-second pit stops, and that's what it's going to take to run up front with these guys.
All right, we wish you luck the rest of the year. Brett Bodine, 5th place tonight, gentlemen.
Yeah, beat Mark Martin just at the finish. Let's take a look at the final results. These are unofficial tonight as to how they came across. Elliott with a terrific finish in 2nd spot. You know, Neil, for the 10th race in a row, Rusty Wallace and Mark Martin finish on the lead lap. Those guys got their act together.
Let me tell you what, if you're going to stay in the top of this points battle, you better finish in the top 10 because you're not going to gain or stay up in that front.
Taking a look at these standings all the way through, and you see that Phil Parsons got himself a 20th. We had 10 cars still in the lead lap when the thing ended tonight. Certainly wasn't any kind of a speed record, as we totaled out, what, 8 caution periods before it was over. 47 laps of the 300 were run under yellow with all the incidents that we had, and 6 cars did not finish. Let's go to Dick Bergman.
Bobby Labonte, after such a good, strong run, why no smile?
Well, I don't know. You know, it's just one of them deals that I lost a lap there and then lined up in the wrong line, passed some cars shouldn't have passed, and got penalized and lost another lap. And, you know, had a pretty decent car for 50 laps, and then it just kind of fizzled out.
Okay, Bobby Labonte, good run tonight.
Okay, Rusty Wallace has said, I like to be seen as a guy who's aggressive and outgoing and reliable and friendly. I like to make people happy. He certainly made his sponsors happy once again this year, Neil.
I'll tell you what, he must project that image because that's where they see him competitive and happy at what he's doing. Great win for him. And, you know, you look at Mark Martin, what a streak they had. It had to end sometime, but, boy, they ought to be proud of what they accomplished.
Now, let's see what they'll do at Richmond, October 10th. Let's go down and talk to the guys along pit road tonight. Randy?
Well, I think the thing that amazes me, well, Rusty Wallace celebrates in victory lane behind me. Mark Martin has had a great run here. Rusty Wallace comes in, runs good here tonight. Dale Earnhardt, that car just was not working. That's a championship caliber team. They put rubbers in the left front, the right rear. They worked on it. Even when he has a bad night, he can finish 3rd. I mean, that whole team and Dale Earnhardt, that's what amazes me. Dick Bergman?
I'm going to tell you what, if your heart wasn't pounding at the end of that race, you just don't understand racing. That was as good a finish, as wild a finish as we've seen here at Richmond in a long while. Johnny Hayes.
One of the best races all year, but it also proves I'm one of the most intelligent people in motorsports because I said Rusty Wallace in your face, and y'all thought I wasn't smart. Way to go, Rusty.
Rick Benjamin.
Certainly a great call by Brother Hayes earlier on. We thought Rusty would be a very competitive force tonight. I'm really glad to see Bill Elliott and his team put on a strong run tonight. They've struggled all season long, as we've documented. This may turn it around for the Budweiser Ford folks, and we will see how they do the rest of the year, especially at Charlotte when we get there in October.
October 9th and 10th will be there. Saturday, the Grand National Race, and then we'll be back on Sunday for the 500 at Charlotte. It's always a great event there. For Neil Bonnet and Randy Pemberton and Rick Benjamin, Dick Bergman, and our seer, Johnny Hayes, thanks for being with us here at Richmond International Raceway tonight. And we look forward to having you with us in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm Ken Squire, here at Richmond, where tonight it was Rusty Wallace.